Hello? Hello? Maybe? YouTube, come on. You can do it. There we go. There we go. What is up, YouTube? How is it going today? How's it going on this fine Saturday? It's hot in here. Oh, middle of summer. It is hot. I don't like it. Oh, well, I hope you all had a wonderful Saturday. Got some rest. Got done what you needed to do. But now it's time to chill. It's chill time. We can enjoy the rest of our Saturdays. And we're going to do that. All right, so today, I don't know 100% what I'm going to do today. I'm thinking we're just kind of going to chill. Let me make sure I got my stuff right. Am I on low? YouTube, hello? I think that's right. All right. So today, I think we're just going to kind of chill. I think we're just going to kind of maybe watch some videos, maybe game a little, maybe play some Magic, maybe look around the Steam page. I got an idea. Steam gave me an idea that maybe we'll check out later, but that's later. That's a surprise. But for now, what are we gonna do for now? I got some videos pulled up we gotta watch. I decided last week I was gonna do a Rivals 2 lore dump this week with this video. What is this? The Insane Lore of Rivals of Aether 2024. It's an hour long, but I think it'll be pretty cool. Been recommended as pretty good, so we're gonna check that out later. But to start things off, maybe we'll play a little bit of Magic. I've not played Magic since the last time I played Magic on stream. There's just been so much happening and so many new games happening and coming out that I've completely just fallen off of Magic. And I already hadn't gotten that far on to Magic, but I was having a lot of fun with Bloomburrow Standard. And then, you know, Rivals came out. And then Deadlock came out. I've been playing a lot of Deadlock lately. I'm going to say a lot. The games are like a half hour long each, so I've only played a handful of games. But, you know, when I only have half an hour to an hour to an hour and a half free at the end of the night before it's time to go to bed, I play what I can. Played a good bit today. I am bad. I am bad at this game, let me tell you what. But I'm trying. I'm also trying to open Magic and it's just not happening. What are you doing? It's updating. There we go. There it is. Oh, never mind. Still updating. Nah, it's fine. But yeah, so Deadlock is a ton of fun. Third-person shooter MOBA game. It's not really up my alley. I'm not a MOBA guy. I don't do MOBAs. I don't do League or Dota or any of that. But I like shooters, and Deadlock is it's just been a lot of fun. Even if it's not up my alley, it's just been a lot of fun. I did not play enough during the last season. I didn't get as high up as I wanted to get, which means I didn't get the rewards that I wanted to get. Ooh. But we got some packs. Let's open some packs. Let's open some packs live on stream here. Oh. And we got a mythic on pack 1. Oh, it's Rottenmouth Viper. Genuinely, legitimately my favorite card in this set. I love this card so much. This card is sick. And we're gonna make some cool decks around him. I just need one more. I already had 2 of them. I just wasn't wanting to spend the mythic wild card if there wasn't like a good home for him, so I've kind of just been testing him out. Is this another mythic? Oh, just it's a wild card which I can spend on anything, so it's kind of like another Viper, which is pretty sweet. All right, what's new in the store today? I gotta see what the deals are, see if there's anything worth buying. It's all just cosmetics, and typically, I actually kind of want that. No, I don't worry about it. It's all just cosmetics, but you know, we get gold. Gotta spend it on something. Also, new to Magic, since the last time I was on, you can just straight up buy decks now. Like this has been a thing that Magic Arena has been like actively against for a while. They never wanted to sell actual decks, and now they just do. They just sell you the cards. Now, a couple of them, I think these three are all Brawl decks. So it's kind of like Arena's one-on-one version of Commander. So I don't know that, I can't imagine that these actually sell very well. Because I can't imagine, first of all, Brawl does not have that big of a community. And second of all, if you're going to play Brawl, I don't see many people playing these three decks specifically. But then for Standard, we've got a green-white splashing blue, or maybe it's a blue-white splashing green poison deck, which I think is pretty cool, but not exactly good right now. It's not exactly in meta. We're about 2 years too late for that, I think. And then some red-green dinosaur deck, which I guess is kind of neat. Green-red will always have a place. But the coolest thing, well, first of all, the not cool thing is that they're so expensive. 10,000 gems. This one's only 3,000. 16,000 gems. It's based off of the number of rares and mythics that you get. But Jesus, I think this deck is 16,000 gems. How much is that? 16,000 gems is over $50. It's over $50 for this deck, which is crazy. It's insane. This is digital. This is Arena. These cards should not cost that much, especially when it's a deck that isn't, it's like so far out of the meta that like you're only going to buy it if you don't know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, are you going to spend almost $200 on a deck? I don't think so. But at the very least, the cool thing about it, the price does get reduced when you already own the cards. So this Zada deck, I must own like 99 out of 100 cards because it would only cost me 30 gems because I'm basically only buying like one card at that point. I wish it just told you really simply what that card was. Let's check out this Red Goblins deck. Oh, it kind of does. So all these faded out cards are the ones that I don't own. Which already kind of crazy because I own a different version of this card. I own a different version of this card, different version of this card. So I'm not even missing all that many. It just, I don't have the ones that it wants to sell me, which is crazy. It's insane. Do I not have a copy of that? Anyway. Oh, I turned the music off. I forgot that Arena does not have music on it right now. Ooh, very chill. Very chillax music for checking out these Brawl decks and being mad about the outrageous prices. There we go. All right. Ooh, let's get it. Let's get into it. Hello? All right, so we got our dailies. I've built up 3 of them already. White, blue, black, green, kill. I'm not gonna worry about the white, blue one because my deck is black, green, black, red, green. What is this? Timeless metagame challenge? All right, doing a special event for people that play Timeless. I do not play Timeless. I will not be doing this. I do not have a deck that will work for this event, but that's fine. Let's throw it in here with Jund Counters, standard ranked. There. This is the deck that I played last time. Again, haven't touched it, haven't played Magic in a hot minute, but I still love this deck. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Something like that. All right. What do we got? What do we got? A bunch of 3-drops. I do go first, though. But I don't really do anything. This is marginally better because I have the 1 removal spell. Ooh, let's keep that on top. It'll draw me a card. Early creature. Exactly what I want right now. Is this mono green? No, it's green black with a 1-mana 2/2. What are you playing? Let's go on an adventure. And a deep cavern. What is this deck? Because this is hand removal, this is removal, and this is a 1-mana 2/2? That's very aggressive. Very weird. What did they actually take? They took my Forge. No, I wanted that. I wanted to play that this turn. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, the one of that I run just for occasions like this. Oh, I love this card. It's so good. Innkeeper's Talent. All right, so he's doing something similar to me. Oh, the 1-mana 2/2 gets a counter, so maybe he's just playing it for that synergy. I do not have a land. I do not have a land. That's not good. Well, let's forge it up. He's got a 1-mana removal spell. I can see it in the hesitation. It's the bad thing about playing an arena is the client will basically tell you when your opponent has a response. All right, got our land, but it is tapped. Let's go right to combat. Hit him for 2. And we don't need to do anything. I'll go ahead and play this 13. Get his removal spell out of the way so it can't kill Vadmir, I think. No, I guess I could have responded to it with Vadmir's trigger to make him bigger. All right, so we misplayed. We did it wrong, but it's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. So here, I think we lose the Dread Knight. I think this is too good. No, it's not. Well, no, because he can just kill it. So let's do this. Get our land. We'll go ahead and tear you asunder after you've wasted 7-8 mana on it. He had another one. Well, you didn't know I have another removal spell for it. Let's go ahead and crack this land. Green. I think we get a forest. Now, what do we do? Well, we start by going to combat. We'll hit him for 4. We'll get in our knight. We'll get in our vampire. And we hold up the 2-mana removal spell. What you got, opponent? That's unfortunate. I'm surprised I don't see more people playing this card. This card rules. This card is incredible. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fire this off now. Only got ward 1, so we can pay for that. And that is all of my mana. Just all of it. We need a land, though. We'll get him for 6. He's got to have something. He does have a removal spell, so he does have something. Yep, there it is. He's close, though. The bat. Ooh, that's good. He's going to take the Viper. He better take the Viper. The Viper will pretty much kill him. Manland. Absolutely perfect. Do I want to go ahead and play Vraska? Yes, I do. Because I'm not doing anything else. I was thinking about turning the bat into a treasure, but that doesn't exactly do anything for me. Let's get him for 3. Oh, you know what? I could have waited. And then if he blocks, I can play the Viper afterward. Well, now we know. This card's great. He's going to start putting a bunch of creatures into play. Oh, this is lifelink, doesn't it? Ooh, that's really bad. This is really good, though. This is... Wait. Wait. Opponent, you forgot. Opponent, you forgot. I can just kill you now. You forgot I had the man land. All right, GG opponent. Sometimes the land that becomes a creature does get you. That's just how it goes. Only silver? I thought it was higher than silver. It's so hard to tell what these ranks are just off of the symbol, in my opinion, because like there is a platinum that I think looks a lot like silver. There's like an emerald or something like that after silver that like it just feels weird, so you're not expecting it. Like, when would I ever look at a ranking symbol and think, oh, that's emerald rank? That make no sense. Removal. And a guy that loves for me to use removal. Seems good to me. Opponent trying to mulligan. He got that Feldegriff drip. Incredible. He got that Chatterfang. Also incredible. Love this card. So glad that this came in the Squirrel Precon for Bloomburrow a little while back. I was so happy to finally get a Squirrel deck. It's not a great Squirrel deck, but it's got squirrels. Red, white, green. So, but they don't have land types, so this probably isn't domain. I don't know what this is. I think we slap our guy down. I genuinely have no clue what deck we're playing against. Is there a Naya tokens deck in this meta right now? Green, white tokens, red, white tokens, both very good. But you'd probably have had something on the board already if it was a Naya tokens deck. So the top two cards, you can play them, and then it gets bigger. I've seen this card, but only like once. Okay, so it is a tokens deck. He's got the Caretaker's talent, so that's going to be problematic. We do have the Terra Sunder though, which is very good. I think we will... We're going to have to play a tap land. This card is great, but I think we need a little more than that right now. I think we're going to need some answers coming up real soon. And we do have removal for days, but like we need pressure. This Vadmir isn't going to do me much good once it's dead, so I need to draw something else. Inspiring Vantage. All gold lands, all rare lands. Guess I can't talk. Caretaker's talent, kind of similar to my Innkeeper's talent with the way that it levels up, but level 2 wants you to have a creature token or some kind of token already on the board when you do it. So some people don't use their mana super efficiently on it because they want to wait rather than, you know, kind of waste that. Which in this case made sense. Or it didn't make sense. It worked out for him because I did have that removal spell. All right, opponent, what do you have? What are you playing? You've played 2 cards. You've played 2 copies of this card, and you've played basically 2 copies of this card. What is in your deck? So that's a guy that makes a blue token. Oh, and it's gonna draw him a card. Completely forgot about the static ability already on it. Ooh, this card is gonna be great for me. So I can get it for 3 right now. And I can blow up a creature and an artifact and an enchantment. Oh, it's insane. But for now, I think I'm gonna get in. Curious to see if he blocks or not. Does he care about the damage or does he want the guy? He wants the light. This is an instant? Oh my god, this card is so good. He had another one. Another? Tough cookie. And just create a food token. And then he can turn these little artifacts into 4/4 guys. Whoa. And he draws 2 cards. What do I have? I only have 3. So I think we fire off another removal. Make Vadmir even bigger. Play a land. And, I mean, honestly, at this point, I think we just get in. Do we just get in? Yeah, I think we just get in. Get this guy out of here, I guess. I don't imagine that it matters. Pump up the Vadmir. Extra damage, extra life. You've got about a turn left, bud. This music's too chill for the vibe. I'm trying to crush my opponent. Classic YouTube song. All right, opponent's looking around. He's trying to find his outs. Big creature's not gonna do it, but he doesn't know that yet. What you got? Pass the turn. Do you know that you can't block a creature with menace when you only have 1 creature on the board? You know this. Okay, what can we do about this? What can we do about this? I don't believe we can do anything about this. Fine. Fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't particularly want to spend this getting my guy back, but it's really all that I've got going for me right now. And I couldn't even play it. I don't have enough mana. Opponent's drawing a lot of cards. Not doing much. Ooh, Balin. Oh, I haven't seen this card yet. I think this card looks sick, though. I kind of want to build a commander deck with him. All right, so I think we play Vadmir. And then I guess we go ahead and go for the throat on that Balin before it actually starts to do things. Nope. No, you don't. I guess you can, what, draw a card? You didn't draw a card. Is that sorcery only? No, it's not. I don't know why he didn't draw any cards or anything. He had another one. He had another one. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So I can Gix's command his entire board away. That would be neat. Can also make Vadmir really big. Would also be neat. What you doing, bud? You have so much mana, you have so many cards. You can have so many more cards. What on earth is this? Look at this. The top 5 cards of your library. You may exile a creature card. You may cast the exile card this turn. Combat deals damage equal to its power up to one target creature you don't control. No, he's gonna kill my vampire again. No. Rude. Get him for 1. Can respect that. Gotta land. And at least we get to get you away. I think we do want this guy off the field. He's going to start doing a lot of things that I don't like. He's going to get rid of those 2 and Balin. I swear if you have a 3rd one, I'd be so mad. Oh, the engine just goes. It just goes. Is that his 3rd Sentinel? His deck is so consistent. I mean, he has drawn like 17 extra cards this game. He's at 29 cards in deck. I'm at 42. He's drawn 13 more cards this game than I have. That's crazy. Kellen. Is Kellen good? I've never seen Kellen in play. He's going exploring, but it's really just putting counters on his things. He's really putting counters on his things. Lily, you do not help me right now. Can I just say that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can do both. But I can't make him discard anything, and that's what I really want to do. I think I just have to fire it off as a removal spell, though. He's only going to get rid of a 1/2 out of this, but we do need that 1/2 gun. Man, I thought I had this. I thought I was doing good. I thought we were getting there. And here we are, me like a turn or 2 away from just collapsing under 4/5s. Here's the cards. Can we deck him? What are the chances we deck him? That'd be incredible. At least the music's chill. Come on, guy. Come on. He can start doing all this now. Ooh, that's not good. Ooh, this is really bad for me. I should have responded before that happened, but I missed it. All right, so the artifact is this. The creature is this. The enchantment is this. No planeswalker. 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 5, 6. That'll help a little bit. I'll do a little bit. Ah, damn it. Well, get rid of the card. He's gonna hit me with so many 4/4s on this next turn. I thought we had that. I thought we were doing it. It's the number of opponents who controls an artifact. So it's just a green mana, make a treasure, or make a map, which in your deck also means drawing cards. Huh. This again. This card seems good. I'd never seen this card until this match. All right, do I have anything? Black does not have any true board wipes right now. I think. Pretty sure it does not. So I do not think I can wipe his board entirely. Probably need to start running Brotherhood's End, though, honestly. Maybe I'll throw a copy of that in here. It'll destroy... It'll deal 3 damage to every creature or destroy every artifact that costs 3 or less, I think. So that's a good early game board wipe or token destroyer. Can that hit a planeswalker? Creature. No. No, it cannot. I'm surprised he didn't make an army of 4/4s. I think he could have just had the game. Yep, come on, dude. All right. 4, 8, 11. So we need to make one of these. I can only make one. Damn, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna block here because I want this guy gone because this guy threatens to kill me. And then I'll gain 3 life, make him sack his 1/1. Oh, no, that's just rude. So that puts me down to 12. Down 12 from 15. Yep. Oh, I forgot to sack the food. I was just clicking through buttons. It doesn't matter. We gotta land. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Sometimes you get your opponent down to 5 and a turn or through, and then you lose. It's fine. It's fine. Let's run it back. I am not content with that, so we will go again. Papo. Only 2 lands and no green. Ooh. And my opponent goes first. This is an absolute send it back. This is a snap, throw it back. Much better. Much better. Let's get our Planeswalker out of here because it's going to be way too long until we can play her. Ooh, what a sleeve. All right, come on, dude. Have a bunch of creatures because I got all the removal in the world. Ooh, very nice. Let's play our tap land. What is this? Ooh. Kamigawa did some weird things. It's very cool things, but it's very weird things. You're playing Grixis, so you're gonna kill this. So I'm gonna hold it back for a turn so you can't cut it down. I'm not good at not playing him immediately. Oh, opponent. I don't know what you have. I don't know what kind of deck you're playing. I'm gonna keep it just in case. Just in case. And we're not gonna throw the vampire out yet. Ooh, opponent. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm not exactly gaining advantage over him, so he's fine. I'm not playing things. If I'd had the foundry or the forge or whatever it's called, would have been amazing. Would have been great. We'd be so far ahead right now. Ooh, Harvester of Misery. It's interesting. Is this a Maha deck? Black-based control deck, maybe? Mayhaps? And this is a red-based deck. Geological Appraiser. Alright, so what are you gonna wheel off of that? The infamous Cruel Claw. Ooh. So it's that kind of deck. Okay. Okay. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Cruel Claw, I think we do just kind of need out of here. I would love to hold this back for a minute, but this card is a little too dangerous. Ooh, Glissa. That's a good card. So we're going to hold up 2 removal spells. Damn. We can't get around that one. We do still need to get this guy out of the way, though. There's the Forge. All right, Forge or Glissa? Well, he's more likely to have creature removal, so let's Forge. Get in for 1. Being in red, he might have some artifact destruction, but he's not super common right now. He might have an Abrade, actually. That's not out of the question. Another Cruel Claw? That's crazy. You just have those? Damn. Block it. Block it. No, he didn't block it. I think we just run this again. What does he even have? I don't think I've seen anything particularly scary that he could flip out. But it's just, I don't want to risk it. There's the Brotherhood's End. There's a Glissa. I'm gonna hold the Lily because I don't need to remove this card just yet. Maybe that's a mistake. Maybe it's a mistake. I can also choking my asthma with the thing, so that's why I don't particularly care too much. Let's make a 1/1. Get in for a poison, which we can proliferate with Vraska if we ever get to that point. Just saying. Just saying. Two, three, four, five, six. Ooh. Oh, he's Trumpeting Carnosaur. I should have expected that. He's only 1 mana away from playing these virtues, and that is going to make things very difficult for me. Because he can get the Carnosaurs and the Appraisers. Yeah, that's happening. Okay. This game is getting very dangerous very quickly. He's just playing that. He skipped 2 more Trumpeting Carnosaurs. But he is going to discover more. Does this deck run anything that costs 3 other than Cruel Claw? That's crazy. That's crazy. Hold on. What can we do? Do I have 4 black? 2, 3. I do not have 4 black. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I'm stupid. I can't. No, because he's just going to get it back. I don't think I win this. I mean, I guess we run this. Get into damage first. Maybe he blocks with the Cruel Claw. That would be sick. I guess we run this. And then this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm dead in 2 turns. I guess it'd be 3 or 4 turns technically, but like, I'm basically dead. He's gonna slam this down, which means on his next turn he's gonna get a Carnosaur, which is also gonna bring out something else. Or he's just gonna play 2 Carnosaurs right now. Right now. Jesus. 3 cards, put 2 from your hand, top of your library in any order, which is perfect for the Cruel Claw. Not that it matters. Oh, at least one of those whiffed. His Brotherhood's End doesn't do anything. Oh, it dealt 3 damage to Planeswalkers. I completely missed that. Man. We got him that first time, and then we just absolutely just flopped on our faces. We've lost all the elo that we gained from that other match. All right. I'm not satisfied. Let me open this pack. Oh, I got 2 packs. Let me open these 2 packs real quick. Let's give us some luck. Let's grant us some luck. Valley Might Caller. Seems pretty cool. 1 mana, 1/1. Gets a 1/1 counter whenever we play a frog, rabbit, squirrel, or raccoon. Pretty cool. See him play right now. Maybe we can put that in the deck. Pack number 2. Wick the World Mind. The World Mind. Seems kind of sick, but also I can't imagine actually playing this card. Makes snails whenever you make rats, and then you can sacrifice your snails to deal damage. Oh, and also makes the snails bigger. Such a weird card. A rat that makes snails but wants you to have rats, but does care about the snail type. Is just absolutely crazy. Crazy card. All right, Raider. This is a tangent. You know what really grinds my gears? These like character icons here, they used to just be planeswalkers. It was like a cool special thing that it was just planeswalkers. And now they got random other characters. And I'm sure someone out there thinks that that's really cool because they're getting their favorite legendary creature as an icon or something like that. But it meant something when they were just planeswalkers. Because like the person playing Magic is a planeswalker. It's canonically built into the game that we are planeswalkers playing out these creatures. So it was cool and it made sense that our icons were planeswalkers. And then they just got rid of it. They just took that and they threw it away, and I don't appreciate it. It attacks. All right, so before he attacks, I'll have to cut it down, but see if he plays anything else. He might be playing mono black. That card's good. And I do not have a removal spell yet. Well, it's kind of a removal spell, just not yet. Let's forge it up. Get into one. You passed the chump check. Some people are too scared to block that, even when there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. They'll still be too scared and they'll take the damage. And I do that sometimes too, but we don't need to talk about that. So he draws a card and gets a dude. What a token. What a face. It's like something out of a 50s or 60s black and white horror movie. All right, we'll pitch this land. Right. Do we pitch a land? I think we pitch a land. Yeah. We got a land anyway, so we did do it right. We're gonna hit him with another forge. When in doubt, play a bunch of dudes. Play a bunch of dudes that you can't just go for the throat. We also get his token out of the way. It's pretty good. It's pretty nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think this is just mono black aggro. Maybe like a tempo aggro. Oh, he's got two colorless sources. He's probably really like tied up on his mana. He probably can't play that much right now. He did just play a Shieldred, which is one of the best cards in the format still, but do we get rid of the land? Yeah, I guess we get rid of the land. I only have one mana worth of cards in my graveyard. Hey, go for the throat. Exactly what we needed. And we can kill the Lily and hit him for 2. And he can't make us discard the Necropsy anymore, so we could go ahead and play this talent. What are the odds that he plays another Lily? I'm running it anyway. If he plays another Lily, I am going to be mad, but like, we don't have enough cards in the graveyard to play the Necropsy, so might as well play the card I can play and get rid of the card I can't play. So what is this? When you have more life than me, he draws a card and loses a life? Yep. This card is so good. It's so good. And I can't really do anything about it. If I had that land, we could go straight up to level 3 on this talent right now. What do I have in the graveyard? 3? That's nothing. It's nothing. We're just gonna go ahead and run out the cards that I do have. Make you get rid of your creature. Because there's no way that you're getting rid of the bat. But we are gonna get in for at least 4 damage. You can block the 3-1 for free, but I'll get 4. Oh, it's got lifelink. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. This card, every time I read this card, I forget what it does. And so it just, every single time I see it, it's better than it was last time. It's crazy. Well, we are officially going to hit him for more than he is going to hit me for, and for more than he's going to gain back. So we're still in the positive. Although that Bandit's talent is going to do some absolute work right about now. Another land. What can we do? We can sacrifice tokens to draw cards. That's probably good. Yeah, I think we need to do that. Or we can just hit him for even more. So instead of 5 and 4, it'll be 6 and 5. I can't math. Yeah, let's put a clock on him. Screw it. You know what? You have to figure this situation out now, sir. Mister, I'm still at 20. Well, guess what? Figure it out or you're dead next turn. That's what we say. It's fine. Oh. Sir, you did not time that correctly. Bud, you missed. He goes up to level 3 instead of playing anything. He's going to gain 4 up to 13. This next turn, I can hit him for 8 and 7, which is 15. He can block 2, which means he'll go down. He'll take 13. So he must have a removal spell. Oh, I'm dead, by the way. Oh, well, you know what? No. You can, I didn't realize that he was crewing this. So, yeah, I guess we just got it. We just got him for 13. Woo! All right. All right. And hey, look, we're back where we started. So stupid. So stupid. You are correct. He didn't have it. Oh God, what's happening? He didn't have it and I called his bluff. All right. I think I feel good enough about, I feel in equal parts good and bad about my time playing Magic. I think I'm at the perfect point. We can exit this game and move on. Item number 2. Item number 2 on our agenda. So, I had an idea. Actually, hold on. What's going on with my... What are you doing? There you go. Okay, YouTube's being weird over here. All right. Today is the day we decided we were going to do the Aether of Rivals of Aether lore stream. The big lore dump. We're going to figure out what is going on in this universe. But before we can do that, we got to get back into it a little bit. And by get back into it, I would like to play the game, but I can't play the game. So we will do the next best thing. We will watch other people play the game. So there is a tournament happening right now called Egg Dog. And why it's called Egg Dog and what that means, I don't know. I'm guessing it's this I'm guessing it's this little guy. But Eggdog had a Rivals portion of the tournament that wrapped up, I guess either yesterday or the day before. And I would like to go through and see some of these matches because a lot of these people, I think this tournament is primarily a Smash tournament. I think it's a Melee tournament. So instead of having a bunch of like big Rivals players, it's got a bunch of big Smash players that were playing Rivals, which I think is really cool. So we can see this match here is Amsa and Zane. These are two prolific Melee players, and I just think it's really cool to see all these Melee players playing Marvel or playing Rivals of Aether 2. I almost called it Marvel Rivals. So I'm gonna check out a couple of these matches. This is the grand finals, semifinal, quarterfinal. All right, let's go through these semifinals. We know that the finals is going to be Amsa and Zane, so let's watch their matchups up to it and see how Amsa beats Mango and how Zane beats Junebug. Pause the music there. So let's start off with Zane's match. Zane versus Junebug. This is Raster versus Loxodont at the Eggdog Invitational 2024, which is happening right now, but this match in particular was, again, probably yesterday or the day before. So a little bit of backstory. If you don't know who these people are, Zane is the guy on the left over here. He is currently the #1 player in Super Smash Bros. Melee. He mains Marth, and he's like probably the best Marth player to ever exist. He's on top. He's doing it right now. This guy over here on the right, this is Junebug. Junebug has apparently been playing Donkey Kong in Melee for a long time, and Donkey Kong has for the longest time been considered a low tier. Not bottom tier. He's not the worst, but he was low tier. And then thanks to a particularly good bracket that he had in a tournament like a couple weeks ago at this point, I think, his Donkey Kong made it into like top 16 or top 8 or something like that, which is like literally the first time that we've ever seen a Donkey Kong get that far. Now, he has won some tournaments with Donkey Kong. Like, he's won some of the smaller scale tournaments. I'm talking about a big one. I'm talking about one of the big Melee tournaments. We had Donkey Kong like all the way up there at the top. Absolutely insane. One of the first times I think we've ever seen a low tier do something like that outside of like Mango playing Dr. Mario sometimes just because he feels like it, or Levin playing Mewtwo for that period just because he was bored or something. So I think that's really cool. I think he's a guy to keep up with, but we don't got to worry about any of the Melee stuff for right now because these two top tier Melee players are playing Rivals of Aether 2. Let's go.
I'm out of town or I got something going on. He puts them on the wrong weekends, and I think it's on purpose at this point.
All right, we're in the in-between. We got commentary. Let's skip ahead.
Not as good as the other.
I know
right.
he said earlier on the mic he hates fighting Raster.
I also hate fighting Raster. I hate fighting as Raster though too.
Incredible, yeah.
Who do you play?
I play Crag. I'm a Crag loyalist at heart, and I think June is too.
That's the rock climber.
I love that the Donkey Kong player is playing the big
I
elephant.
feel like he's closest to DK, so I feel like that's what June needs. But
June wants a big body, and I think June, like June's heart is with
That's what I'm
this
saying.
character. But June was saying I played like 2 games with Crag, and my Crag is already performing better than my Loxodon. That's a bad feeling.
Yeah, right.
So,
That's like
also
that crazy game with the Roy.
Crazy to me that the Marth player is playing Raster. Those characters are nothing alike.
oh, interesting. Has the kind of the Ike.
yeah, it's kind of a mixture of Ike and DDD, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
He's got like the body of DDD, but he has like the aerials and like the mobility of Ike.
And the
Is
upbeat
that why I like
kinda
Loxodont?
upbeat.
Because he's kind of like Ike?
Straight up the Ike upbeat. Yeah.
The thing that they're all rivals with.
Yes.
Oh, it's coming
That's
together.
something
It's
to think
coming
about.
together. I'm on you, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm on you. I know it's Rivals 2. It's not Rivals.
Ooh.
I know it was
Ooh.
nasty there.
I know.
Oh, Cool Blood, what's up? How you doing?
She'll drop
I don't know when you got in here, but for some context, we're watching the semifinals of a tournament called Egg Dog. These are two melee players that are playing. All the players in the tournament are melee players, but they're playing Rivals 2 for fun, I guess.
Up in sets in melee.
Yeah,
all time.
So this is the #1 melee player versus, I don't know the rank of the guy on the right, Junebug, but
Because Junebug kind of used to be Zane's coach.
when is lore? I was gonna do lore after this.
I didn't
And
know that.
when Zane was getting really, really good, when he started like going from, you know, top 20 to top 5, top 1,
Yeah.
Right.
Junebug was coaching him through that. So,
He did. I remember that.
and look at this. May arguably winning a stock right here.
Oh,
Ooh.
June is up.
Does Junebug take game
That's what I'm
1?
saying, man.
Wow.
Oh, June wouldn't listen to me. I told
How long
you.
is this match? 15
I
minutes?
said this was gonna happen.
Okay, wait. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
wait, Zane's coming back.
Raster doing smash attacks in the air, just the weirdest thing about this character that I do not understand.
Hear them in the back. June's like, no, yes.
Yo, this game is crazy.
Yeah.
I like the way the movement. It looks so smooth.
Yeah. Is Junebug in some kind of special state right now with the like the paint?
Yeah, so like, you see that thing on the floor?
Yeah.
So June,
Yes, some of his special moves make this weird lava-y effect on the ground here, and when he stands in it, he gets this weird kind of lava-y effect on him, and that powers up his smash attacks, and I think his up B. I learned that.
creates that, and when he steps in
And
that,
his down B.
he charges this kind of like magma aura thing.
Mm-hmm.
And his down B kind of just like
Ooh.
launches him. And the more
Ooh, he just got ledged.
magma he has around him, like the farther he launches.
Oh. And the magma takes a second to kind of generate. I see that.
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah.
legs right there. Make it stop.
Yeah.
I think
also
it's- I think it's
using
3
your throws
tiers?
Will generate magma too.
Legs, body, and then head.
Okay.
Thank you for the run.
Ooh, good air dodge there. Okay, yeah, that looked a little scary for a bit for Junebug.
They ain't chipping his way
Oh
back
my
with
God.
these throws, man.
Hang on.
Zane's really in charge right now.
Yeah, he's got the vortex out, the wind tunnel.
June with the percent lead, so like one good hit I think will do it.
Yeah, I'm assuming Locks hits hard. I'm assuming
yeah, me too, right?
big elephant with an
I know
axe.
somebody in there like, no, one hit is not gonna kill me. Oh wait.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Any
Oh, never
way to
mind.
the ground right now.
Oh, careful.
I've not seen
Right,
anyone
God,
do
so
crazy air combos with the
That's
Raster yet.
it, that's it. Oh!
Oh wait.
You tried to hit him with the Darius. Where's my 2x kill heads at?
Ooh.
Insane. That was insane. That was crazy.
I love this. Again, these are not people that play this game. These are melee players. And you can tell they have so much fun when they play this game because everything is just so weird and wacky. And these weird things happen where the down B recovery move gets the kill.
Yeah, so that's what the magma charges. Like when you're full charge, you can just do that.
Oh, okay.
It's like in like traditional fighters
It's like
when you
having
have
a
like
charge shot.
All right, so let's pull that down. Obviously, Zane lost that one, but we know that Zane goes on to win. So let's go to... Why is it Egg Dog themed? Is that the name of this character? They're at a tournament called Egg Dog. The tournament is legitimately called Egg Dog. So yeah, this was match 1 of the semifinals. We already know Zane goes on to win his match because he's in the grand finals. I just wanted to watch a quick match to kind of get into his. Now we're going to do the Amsa Mango match, and we're going to see how
as
Amsa
long as
wins
you're above
his.
ground, a vine will just pop up, and that's one of like the bread and butters for Maple.
So
And then you
Amsa
can create a vine,
is-
and then Maple has somewhat of like
Amsa over here on the left. This is a very, very good, very high tier, like high profile, top tier melee player. He plays Yoshi, and he's like the only person to do it. He's the best Yoshi to have ever existed. He's an old school player. So whereas Zane is a new school player, and I think Junebug is also a new school player, Amsa and Mango are both old school players. They've been doing this for a long time. And Amsa over here on the left is the one that basically like figured out Yoshi. Yoshi used to be bad because he's weird and no one understands how the character works. Amsa is the one that figured out, hey, this character's actually top tier, and just broke him and just completely dominated with him for a while. So many people would lose to Amsa, not because they were bad players, but because they couldn't figure out how to play against Yoshi. So he had his tear for a while. Mango over here on the right, the GOAT of Melee, highly considered one of, I mean, undisputably one of the best Melee players to ever do it. Often considered like the best Melee player. Maybe not technically the strongest, best Melee player, but like he's the favorite. He is widely considered the GOAT of Melee, very specifically. Did you know Mango got a Raster skin in Rivals 1? What? Mango has a Raster skin in Rivals 1? Cannot spell for anything. It's America themed? Okay, I can see that. That's nothing. Wait, did Mango actually play Rivals 1 for a little bit?
I'm ready.
They don't have cam or anything. I mean, I don't doubt it. Oh, yeah, Mango. I did not know that. It's called Spangled Raster. That's actually incredible. That's incredible. I wonder why he doesn't play Raster in Rivals 2 then. He plays Zetterburn. That's weird. But it does make sense. He's very America pilled. Mango is, I believe I might be wrong. I believe he's Mexican. I'm pretty sure he came here with his family as like a child. And so he's very much like American dream. Like, this place is awesome. We can be whatever we want to be here. In his case, being a professional Melee player and streamer. So he's very high on the America. I can very much believe that he would get a Star Spangled Raster skin.
Like a Fox laser where you just throw these, I don't even know, like acorns or something into the vine.
Spangled
tether thing is insane.
Zetterburn.
You can teleport to them from anywhere.
That would be pretty
Use it
cool.
as like a recovery, but they can kind of react to it. You'll see. You'll see.
Yeah.
The tether thing is crazy. He's definitely gonna at least try to check Mango with it.
How's Zetterburn?
Zetterburn's kind of like PM Wolf. That's like the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah.
Has a very good projectile, which is kind of similar. You can use it while drifting, and then has like a good forward air, good up air. Generally good at killing.
Still trying to look up the skin on the side, and I'm getting actual like mango fruit ads.
So Mango was saying, I wash every Melee player free except maybe Plum.
Except maybe
Plum. On a good day.
Oh, Mango's getting dominated.
Dude, I don't know, man. I took a look at Ops and I was saying, I don't know. Ops is a Melee player.
So yeah, I don't know why Mango doesn't play Raster in this game, but I know he likes Zetterburn because Zetterburn plays similar to Fox.
Yeah, honestly, it's either having a great time or it's like...
Maple, on the other hand, doesn't seem to play like anyone in Melee as far as I know.
Right now, or they're just playing. They're just buying.
I think Amsa is
like a little locked.
I think he's a little locked
I'm
in.
just a little locked.
Yeah, you can kind of
Zetterburn with gun, is that what you're trying to say to me right now?
Like, how much is he smiling and laughing?
That would be crazy. That'd be crazy.
And sometimes he does the smiling and laughing to throw you off the scent.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Although Claren has a sword.
Mango keeping it
Maybe
close,
one of
though.
these characters will have a gun at some
Mango's got
point.
some crazy combos, and it looks like. I guess the thing about Mango is he's really good at covering techs, and like he'll cover techs with strong attacks at pretty low percent. So he's good at finding kills, which is really important.
Who did Mango beat in the first round?
He beat. Oh my goodness, it's in my tie.
Oh, okay.
They had a close game too. Game two was super close.
Molo in one has a gun. Molo, Malo. I don't know who this character is, but
And
Oh, is that
so guns are canon in Rivals. This is good to know. This is good to know what the technology is.
Two different plants that they can put down. That's one of them. One of them's called Lily, one's called Poppy.
And then the plant.
That's the other one. See that?
What did they do?
I didn't know they had names.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, that. So yeah, it's like an assist.
Amsa it's like an assist.
Yeah.
Amsa likes that one more. I always see Amsa put that one down. Amsa doesn't put the other one down that much.
I have never seen the other one do
That's
anything.
Awesome to put at ledge.
Yeah, that makes. Yeah, you can cover like a get up or something.
Like Amsa had such a good idea there, like being off stage.
Oh, only in the future. So like guns and swords only in the
Amsa
future.
also playing against Cody. Amsa
So
will
right
play
now we
solo
are
against
like
Kraken, Amsa
canonically
will play parry. And
no
for some matches,
metal
it's really
basically.
important 'cause you can parry their
That's
projectile
fun.
back out, kind of like a power shield, and then you can combo them off of it.
Right.
So,
Can't say I'm surprised with the fairies, you know.
yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish I saw a lot more of, like parrying, because it stuns them for so long. It's a huge open.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about this. You don't see people parry in this game very much because they can just shield.
So the default controls are shield and B, and the timing is similar to ultimate. You know when you let go of shield,
Right,
it's a
yeah.
parry.
Yeah.
But yeah, pressing shield and then B. But then in the controls you can just create a macro on like Y or something.
Okay.
So you just press Y and that'll shield B for you.
Got it.
Oh.
All right, Mango is. Oh my God. Yeah, Ops need to get off that platform.
Like low key bringing us back.
There
Definitely
are
good
machines and
space there
normal
from Ops.
swords.
Tech chase? Okay, good tech.
Okay.
Oh, no, this could be it.
Careful. Oh. Good tech.
I don't know that I've seen any of those characters,
Oh.
but I believe you.
Oh, that's just it.
Is that kill?
Ooh,
That's it.
ooh, AMSA. There we
Is that the
go.
forward air? What's that move? Where,
That's the forwarder. Yeah.
All right, so this is how AMSA got to the finals. Now, Egg Dog Grand Finals Rivals 2 only melee players. AMSA versus
I think
Zane.
there's a PM player that is pretty good. That made like top 8. I don't remember
Okay.
which one though.
could be Stango.
Besides, outside of Switch weekend, everyone played Orcane.
Really?
I just ran like 10 in a row.
Yeah.
Like I'm so.
Oh my God, is he talking about it?
Or Sheik or Falcon.
Is he bringing up my
I
trauma?
want to play something that I've not played before.
Yeah. I haven't
Where is
even
it?
touched Orcane.
Dude, everyone on freaking the one time I got to play the beta this past weekend, everyone played Orcane.
Everyone was
I
on
ran, like, 10
Orcane.
in a row.
Yeah.
Like I'm so.
Absolutely everyone was on Arcane. It was crazy.
It's probably because of
That's
the
a
first time Orcane was available.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That's what you said too.
So
Arcane
Makes
Final
sense.
one
All
here.
right. Zane on the bird.
Zane on the bird. Welcome
Welcome back,
B.
Fish.
Both these characters are pretty quick too.
Yeah, these are too speedy.
Ooh.
Hello. Yeah. Hello, hello.
Who wins this matchup in nature? Birds or
I guess I think it would depend on the
birds?
bird.
Right? Yeah,
I
guess
think
it depends on the
bird's
bird.
clear here. I'm not gonna.
I think raccoons have opposable thumbs, don't they? Don't they have like the thumb? They can, but they can do that. They can pick up things with their hands. They don't have opposable thumbs, but they can have like hand-like things.
Oh,
Birds have like beaks.
I love Raster's
I can see
spike,
a bald eagle just going.
Yeah,
through
bald
everything.
eagle.
But then
but I hate
don't know if you
using
ever
it because I
watched,
kill myself with
is
it.
a mongoose a rodent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they
Mongooses
go
are quick.
they go crazy. But you ever watch them versus snakes?
Yeah, they're fat.
Yeah,
Hard count.
They got the
Hard
they got the Zuma reflexes.
Yeah, nah, actually.
That's the whole thing in Hawaii. They introduced.
You got Mango on the
monsters are not
commentators
native in
now.
Hawaii, But they introduced them to Hawaii in like the 50s or 60s
To get rid of
the snakes, and they did. They did their job really well. There's no snakes in Hawaii. The mongooses got all of them.
Right.
But now there's mongoose.
Now
problems.
there's everywhere.
Now the mongooses eat all the snakes.
Are there no snakes in Hawaii? Is that
That's why
real?
Maple will beat Raster in this grand finals of AMSA versus Zane.
Oh,
Oh my. It's kind of.
Wow.
Okay, wait.
All right.
It's pretty even. I was
Pretty
gonna say
even.
Ops is just cooking, but.
oh!
Cat, what are you
You
doing?
gotta be careful. That's the thing. Zane likes to back up because Zane's got that Zane dash
I
dance.
think he's fine.
We know
Yeah.
it. We know and we love it. But sometimes you back up in your dash dance and there's a plant back there that chomps on you. And Zane's got to watch out for that because AMSA's doing the Crimson Blur trick where you pull the camera away and you can't see what's back there. And then there's a plant back there.
But you
and
put
that's
the
something Blur invented.
you
But
put the
it has
plant.
the indicator.
There's the indicator now. Yes, you always know that there's something on
There
stage.
is an indicator, so you got to watch out for that. And Blur didn't think about that.
Yeah, so you can't blur it.
Suck
up.
it, Blur. Get blurred up. I like
Can't
that.
blur it up.
I like
Nice
that.
air smash.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Clapping him.
All right, wait a minute, Zane.
It's clapping him there.
Nice. Good adaptation there. Shielded the chomp from Lily, the plant.
Really the plan.
Oh!
Going for it all.
And that's a spike too, right? If it connects, I believe.
Yes, yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
It's a crazy spike.
It looks like a really good move. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
Get him with the down air. Yes. Yes, Zane.
That's insane.
Oh, I love it.
All right, yo, Toph, I think
I might
he
have met my ball. Right. Hang on, you got Godai Delta, you got Air. You got.
I hope AMSA's making a lot of money off Red Bull with the hat and the controller. The controller's crazy.
Workshop a name for that.
Red Bull controller goes
Get it
too
done. We'll
hard.
figure something out. I got names. I'm good at naming.
I think we name it the blur. To be honest, that'd be clutch.
Oh my god.
I love that Maple's down throw just like throws them straight down.
Yeah,
off.
it is crazy how many throws just take you from the stage to below the stage. That doesn't exist in Smash.
Okay. Oh,
Ooh,
No.
didn't get
I
it.
think Zane was thinking about ripping a downer.
He was thinking of
But-
ripping it.
Was Maple just sitting on the side?
So
Can you do that? Is that just a Maple thing, or can anyone do that? Like hold on to the side like that?
Close to the wall.
I've seen Zane do like the downer and then do another downer. Or if you have access to wall
close to
jump.
the
you
wall,
can
yeah.
do two
yeah,
jumps.
but I think he was so far off stage that it was going to be a huge commitment at that
Interesting.
point.
Yeah, the Rast.
Oh, got him. Oh, sniped him with it.
Really?
No.
Dang, dude, Zane.
I still can't get
Raster
over the fact
looks like he
that
can just
Zane
get up
has
from
the-
anywhere.
The Mars shield on the mid
He's just down airing to the very bottom and still getting up every time.
So the way Mango was making it sound like Mango washes all the melee players. And then Amsa beat Mango, so I was thinking, all right, well, Amsa must be the best. Now I'm
Maple and Ori, I'm assuming you mean could like cling onto the side.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
So I was like, well, Mango
He created the narrative.
He created the, and then that's the Mango effect.
Yeah,
right there.
the whole time none of it.
It's just
Hold on.
he's just not the best. That's also the Mango though.
That is the mango.
So
Oh, throwing him into, was it Lily?
yeah, I think so. I do like Maple's throwing animations. Okay. Oh.
It's so scary getting thrown by Raster. It's almost a guarantee if he back throws and then just claps you in air.
Dude, yeah, that looks so good.
It's awful.
It's actually kind of crazy that you can charge the aerial smash attack.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. You're just stuck in the air like that?
Yeah.
Oh my
and then
God.
he has a whole nother set of
Okay, what I miss?
actual aerials.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
art. So he just says double aerials.
But you can like
Tanner could
freeze
see
in the
a
air.
wild cat out the window and he was just going crazy.
Even descend,
Had to go figure out what was going on.
Straight up just frozen there.
Insane.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. Wait a minute, Amsa moving a little bit.
Yeah, very close game right now. 71 to 72.
It seems like if Amsa's on stage, he's winning neutral for the most part, but the moment Zane can push him off stage,
Yeah.
like in the air, like right here,
He's got sick conversion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amsa's got to figure something out in his recovery, I feel like. He's getting edge guarded.
yeah, he is.
Maple's recovery does
I
not
think just
seem
trying to
very
find
good
a way to hit Zane with
to
the
me.
tether.
And I'm glad that they're kind of running into the same idea that like Maple getting off the stage is not getting back on very easily.
Yeah, it seems like Maple's.
I didn't
moves aren't,
stop
like,
the boy from making friends. I was just trying to figure out what was going on.
That was
Rip the
just
down smash.
really needed that tech.
Yeah, maybe you need to wait for the tech there. Like Amsa thought maybe I can hit him with the down strong before they reach the ground.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Down smash.
Really needed that tech.
Yeah,
What
maybe
was
you
that?
need to wait for the tech there. Like Amsa thought maybe I can hit him with the down strong before they reach the ground.
Where is it? What is that? What is that? Are you trying to pick something up? Is he trying to throw a seed while there's already a seed on Raster? Is that? I don't know that I've ever seen that animation. Oh, he did throw a seed. What was the question mark
Sending
for?
him all the way across the stage.
Real. Okay, whoa.
Yeah, they really like the downer rip or the down.
That.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
It's satisfying.
Oh,
to
that felt
do.
really early.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, it looks satisfying. Oh, what was that?
Oh, he did it again.
Control.
What that question mark was? Did you guys see that? Like a question mark?
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly the question.
Okay, it's not just me. It's not just me.
Kind of a self-fulfilling.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of, you know what I mean?
Question mark.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well played, Dan.
I think it means that he might have tried to grow a plant, but one was already on stage. Could
Oh, maybe, yeah, maybe.
That makes sense.
All right. I guess.
Yeah,
I
trying to
love
plant it
when
when it's already on stage. That makes a certain amount of sense.
That's so
beautiful.
sick.
That is really sick.
Oh, goodness.
I also love that you can tell that the commentators are Melee players. They don't actually know very much about this game.
Close.
The maple tether thing is on Zane, so maybe
Yeah.
Amsa can do something with that.
Zane also has Whirlwind out. It's
Yep.
anyone's game.
Yes.
Oh, setting up the whole stage here.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh.
The double tech.
That is insane that Amsa did not die there.
Oh, you better roll in.
Oh.
DQ.
Oh no.
That's crazy.
Oh.
That's the advanced techniques they don't want to tell you about.
Pausing in a fighting game is an instant. It's either a stock loss or it's a DQ depending on the tournament. That's so unfortunate. I couldn't tell who it was that paused though. It was on the right side of the screen, so maybe it was Zane.
Insane.
Oh,
Did you guys
shout
see
out
who
to our
paused?
button.
No.
I would have taken that. I would
We
have
gotta get a replay.
Oh,
I would've pulled a big
you know,
laugh.
it's funny.
That's so unfortunate.
Like you did Bobby Scar.
Think of
We ain't forget. We ain't forget left.
that. Yeah, shout out to, that is the left percent. But then I'm thinking about. I always think about Momochi Adon.
Damn.
Yes.
Or Momochi,
2015.
Yeah, Momochi game.
Okay, so I think it was Amsa, and I think Zane is saying, "No, don't worry about it."
Amsa taking game
And
2.
yeah, that like overshadowed us. Like even looking at the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with they were probably trying to mash with the start, right? But that's what happens. But I don't think in this game you can mash out of grabs. I think that's just muscle memory.
You cannot. There's no mashing in this game. We talked about that last time. You can't mash out of a grab.
It's just the RPS, right?
Oh really?
You press A or B, and then you can pummel with A or B. Yeah.
And then if you guess the same pummel that they're doing, you
Then
get
you
out of
break
it.
out. Yeah.
And you don't need to mash it. You just kind of input
You
it.
just choose
You
A or B.
just
There
input
it
A
goes.
or B. Yeah.
As the defender, you should just do it as quickly as possible, basically.
Yeah.
So we're 1-1. I'm assuming this is best of 5.
1-1. Dude, this is super close set.
Yeah, and all the games, I think.
Yeah,
in the last
absolutely no mashing in this game, which is crazy to me. Everything is like a hold or pressing a different
so
button.
Good at the hit fall mechanic.
Yeah.
Where you hit in air and just input it down. Oh.
It's a very hard thing to unmuscle memory.
The way hitfall was actually explained to me that I really like
Yeah.
is that you're SDIing your own hit.
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah.
feels like that.
It's like the way you kind of like play it
SDIing
in the
your
game.
own
Yeah.
hit. Interesting.
DI as an offensive method.
It is, because it's the
Huh.
exact same timing.
It's the same timing as SDIing your
It's the
own.
hit lag.
What's
Yeah.
happening here?
That's an interesting way to put that. I don't think I ever
So shit.
hit falled correctly when I was playing.
I'm so mad. Oh my god.
3-1 right now.
Oh, it's 3-1? Oh, come on, Amsa.
Little jab reset.
I still think Mango's the best.
Think so?
Yeah, Mango's narrative. It
No,
would
I
be that.
whacked Zane the other night. I just didn't
Nice.
want to beat Amsa.
Nice stall.
Right.
I love him.
Tuesday.
Zane, I want to beat. Doug Ponos, any amount. He, can,
Doug Ponos.
he,
Anyone
knows,
but Amsa.
he knows where to find me. Have you ever beaten Amsa? It don't feel good.
Nice.
It's such a long flight home. Like, it don't feel good beating Amsa. Beating Zane feels great.
Did I see Lorena? Lorena looks sick. I want to understand this character. I want to play this character in this game. I know she's not going to be in it for a long time, but she looks sick.
Dude, these characters.
Yo, I don't know how.
We might
I feel
watch
like
the
every time
announcement
they bring
trailer or
another
something of her in a little bit, because
I don't know,
she
it seems like
is
Rasmus
crazy.
doesn't fall as fast.
Razor also is like 4 times.
Yeah.
He is Jigglypuff with a Marth sword.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
That
bro.
sounds
Yeah.
So he's Meta Knight.
He's better Oh, both these characters have insane spikes. I feel like the down air
Oh,
on,
yeah.
on Rasper.
They just come
Maple
out,
Spike is really
they just let it
weird
rip.
because it doesn't send you down, it sends you down and out at an angle, which feels weird.
Opsa was down a lot
Off the
this game.
backboard.
I think he knew Mango said something into the mic.
Yeah, I know
think
you
he
can
was
play her
like,
in Rivals 1, but I don't play Rivals 1, man. I tried it once and I just couldn't do it.
Good tag.
Beautiful.
Ooh.
God, I felt
Ooh.
that.
Maple's life, little rodent life, just flashed before. his
Amsa
eyes.
would have just had to leave if he'd fallen to that. That was crazy.
Oh, Zane's so in control right now.
8% to 140.
Oh, what are you?
What are you doing?
Zane's trying to
You know he's better than that.
Took it a little too hard.
Yeah.
Bro's trying to read the next generation. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh
right.
my God, that's scary.
Ooh, there we go.
I guess that's the setup.
Right.
That's the setup.
That's what you wanted last time.
For platform tech chase.
Zane
Yeah.
up.
On Zane's favor.
Aetherian Forest. Wow.
Aetherian.
Aetherian. So there's still a little bit of Aether in the game.
A little bit.
They took it out of the title.
It's just in the forest.
They did.
Just in the forest.
Just only in the forest.
Yeah.
Only a little bit of Aether in the game.
Rivals 2 kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Everybody's gonna call it Rivals 2. If they named it.
Yeah,
something
let's-
else, like,
If we can be
we'll
honest here,
call
Rivals of Aether felt like such
Smash
a
4, Smash Brothers for
such a
Wii U.
weird name.
Someone
Yeah.
out there.
And Rivals of
So
Aether
let's
2,
try-
I think
Someone in
it's
chat
too
now
much.
did.
I hope some
It's
marketing
too
guy
much.
in Nintendo got demoted.
For not calling this.
You know what I mean? For
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a bad name.
It was
Smash for Wii is a
unfortunate.
bad name. Yeah. It's like, dude, come on, man.
Just any other word.
What is that throw?
Both have throws that just toss you off stage like
Yeah, that's
that.
crazy.
In a spike manner.
Insane.
Yeah, Raster's
God,
back
that
throws
totally-
just messed up.
That totally plays to Zane's.
Yeah.
Zane's been making a career off of. Zane makes 6 figures off of dash dancing and then gravity when the legend is back. Are you?
You
kidding
like the
me?
Aether in the name?
That's.
Hey, that's all you, bud. I just think it's a little.
I was gonna
I
ask you
think
guys,
it's a little
are there any
clunky
moves that, like,
personally.
shield
It's not a
breakers
game
and
that
not, like,
feels like the name doesn't feel memorable. It feels like they kind of just threw words onto it to hope it would stick.
Oh, sorry.
But that's just me.
Shield break
there
type
you
moves.
lose that shield break.
Marth.
I don't think so. I don't think there's a shield break move. Yeah. Shield breaks are honestly really rare from what I've seen.
I said this. I said this last time. There's not like a good subset of moves that are good at shield breaking, so you don't see it very often.
Only time I really see him in melee is Marth.
I think Amsa was trying to throw to the plant right there.
Yeah.
Could be a cool setup.
And he has that rock too, right?
It would be a cool setup. I bet Raster's probably too much damage for that, though.
As Zane here, you can kind of
Ooh, nice. Ooh. Oh, that was sick.
But yeah, I'm assuming if you're like on stage, you're trying to throw
just
to the
bounced
plant,
off it like
if
a
he DI ups,
backboard.
Just going to the air, and then he can't like hit you into the plant to get that.
Oh,
Hey,
Zane, why?
Low percent KOs.
He just gets killed.
Shields
with, like,
are
70
very
with
OP
the
in
dare.
this game.
But so is Amsa, when Amsa does the off-plant kind of shenanigans, that's what he also gets the low.
Like, I'm bad, and even I recognize that. Shields are
I
crazy.
think the biggest difference is also needs the plant to get those, where Zane could just kind of catch you.
Just kind of throw it out.
Right.
That's
Oh.
And I feel like Zane's got a better. He's got a better toolkit for killing on stage too with the aerial.
It's looking like this is Zane's game. I don't know if this is
Oh,
a
that platform.
2 or 3 or 3
I
of 5.
don't see anything that Amsa has on stage to get that level of.
Ooh, very nice.
Easy setup.
That was insane. Yeah.
But like you're saying, Brandon, everything requires the plant setup.
Yeah.
So it does true.
It makes it more. This just adds an extra step.
More
Yeah.
situational. Yeah. All right, let's see what Amsa can do here. Although you know,
Really close.
yeah, it's not. This isn't out of the realm of possibility. Oh, careful.
The Rowan's scary here.
For how good Amsa was at parrying the tornadoes that Fleet shot when he fought Cody,
Yeah.
has not been doing a great job parrying the slipstream from Raster. Oh,
Wow.
Not quite.
this could be it right here. Oh,
Oh, he missed and didn't get punished for it. Just absolutely made it back like nothing happened. You can't do that in Smash. You die from that.
There, hang on.
It's a good thing it
You're
drew
trying too
back
hard in
and
those
forth,
reads.
otherwise that
Good thing it was
gonna
going that way, not that way. Because if it went that way,
Went to the right though.
you go this way, I go that way.
Oh, the wind save.
Oh,
Ooh.
Zane.
Zane taking it.
Zane is your rival.
Is that it? Yep.
Rivals 2 champion.
Has
All right, so Zane is not only the #1 Melee player in the world, he's apparently the #1 Rivals 2 player, at least in the Melee community. All right. To Lorena. Okay, so a little context for the people watching that don't know anything about Rivals, or at the very least know less about it than I do. So Rivals 1 is open to the Steam Workshop, which basically means that you can like add in custom content into the game to play in your own version of the game, or you can upload that custom content online and then other people can download it. So there's like a bunch of custom characters in Rivals, which honestly is pretty neat. But they did a contest where they let you make custom characters in Rivals 1, and the design they liked the most, they would make into a real character for Rivals 2. So we know now that the winner of this contest is Lorena, but this was their announcement video for that. And I think it'll show off her tech just a little bit. She seems real sick.
Do you want to see more original characters in Rivals 2? Do you think the community can do a better job than us at moving the genre forward? Well, we gave creators that chance with the Rivals 2 Steam Workshop contest. Creators had 6 months to create an original character, with the winner being officially added to Rivals 2. Our
What a
development
sprite.
team played and reviewed over 80 submissions and ranked our favorites based on gameplay, visuals, and lore. Along with our winner, we
That guy
chose
looks
4
sick.
honorable mentions.
Tank Shark.
Helios,
Cannon
the
Shark.
unstoppable piece.
So these are like honorable
Uratsu,
mentions.
The Saponaceous serpent. Yono, the carrier's honor.
This guy looks funny.
Badra, the golden vagrant.
I really like this one. I like the aesthetic of the coin
The winner
fox.
of our contest is Lorena, the crowd magnet.
Mm-hmm.
This wrestler won over both fans and our team.
Oh, look at her.
We can't wait to translate her grappling style to Rivals 2. We have just begun development on Lorena, but don't expect her
She looks
soon.
so sick.
There are other characters already in development who will be joining before her. We are so happy with how this contest went, and we plan to keep embracing our amazing community going forward.
Cannot wait to play her. So yeah, Lorena, if you didn't know, is Spanish for the queen, and she is a queen ant queen, and her element, you know, all of the characters have an element of some type: fire, water, earth, wind. Lorena's element is, I guess, like metal, because she can just pull a chair out of nowhere. She can just pull a chair, and she can throw a chair, and she can combo with the chair. She can combo you into the chair, and like all of her moves are grabs in one way or another, for the most part, where you just grab people and you throw them around. She's an actual wrestler. She looks incredible. Magnetism as the like ability, yeah. She feels so different, not only from like what the rest of the cast is doing, but like the grappling fighting style is something you don't see much in platform fighters, at least in like I haven't seen it in Rivals 2. I haven't seen it in any of the Smash games. So it seems really, really cool, really fun to just pull out a chair, get in there. You can like throw the chairs around. You can throw people into them. She can do a suplex on people. It's crazy. She comes in with the steel chair. All right. But she's not going to be in the game for a long time. They're still making her. There's still all these other people that have to get put into the game first. But one day. All right. Now, let's get into some serious business. It's time to move on to the main course. It's time for some Rivals lore. Hold on, get out of here. It's time for some Rivals lore. We're going to go through it. We're going to figure out what the heck is actually happening in this game. So, I don't know. I kind of assumed it was this first one because this is like the hour-long one, Insane Lore of Rivals. If you have a better idea of one of these that is like a better lore video, go ahead and post it in chat. And we're going to take a few seconds. You can do that. We're going to go get drinks. We're going to go to the bathroom. And then we're going to come back. And we're going to learn what the heck is happening in this world of Rivals. Just a minute. I gotta get a be right back. Okay. Okay. What's this music? It sounds like Pokemon. Hold on. Just gotta answer that real quick. Okay, so where are we with the lore? Top video, the one on fixing the story is the only other lore video. Okay, if that is the case, let's go with the top one, the insane lore of Rivals in Aether 2024. Let's do it.
Rivals of Aether, one of the most badass technical platform fighters to ever do it. Housing a unique cast of characters with their own backstories and lore, the roster has really grown from a pretty pitiful state to a truly incredible cast of fighters.
That is so
That's
different.
Right, you saw the title. I'm talking about the lore of Rivals of Aether.
Wait. Okay. Quick pause. If anyone knows the answer to this question, please let me know. Because we were talking about the Steam Workshop earlier and how you can do all these custom characters and stuff. And how a lot of people know this game because of its custom characters from the Steam Workshop. Is this the game that has that crazy Ronald McDonald character and the black and white Ronald and the Super Saiyan Ronald and all that? Is that this game? Is that Rivals 1 where that stuff is happening? Does anyone know? I have no idea what game that is. Yes. Okay, well now hold on. If that's Rivals 1, then maybe I do need to go play it. That's crazy. I had no idea that was Rivals that had that. I love that. That's insane. So maybe I will need to go check that out. But later, we still got to learn the lore. The lore.
Now, the Rivals lore is infamous for having its high peaks and very questionable lows. But I decided
What is that
I wanted
art?
to give a swing at it in an attempt at fully delving into this universe and uncovering the world of Aether. Obviously, this is a way more niche topic that a lot of people probably don't care about. And of course, the gameplay definitely comes first for most people's opinion of Rivals. But if you
Crazy.
want to take my word for it, the lore is also really interesting and a lot more fascinating than you might think. Especially given that the first game's story mode was kind of mid, but there is a lot more to the story than just the story mode. From the Fire Imperium to the bustling streets of Julesvale, we'll be diving into the stories of its heroes, its villains, and the twists and turns of Aether. Spanning the contents of Rivals of Aether, Dungeons of Aether, Rivals 2, which by the way, amazing beta, I love that game so much already, Creatures of Aether, Lovers of Aether, maybe, Tales of Aether, and...
This game has a dating simulator. I did not know that until like 4 hours ago. This game has a dating simulator. What are these devs doing?
Creatures of Aether, Lovers of Aether, maybe, Tales of Aether, and hell, I read about everything I could find online on the topic. With the help of some of the community's self-proclaimed
Yeah.
masters, we managed to
Yeah,
establish
dating
some
sim.
very important details and hidden connections to better grasp this world for all of you. And I mean, we were uncovering hidden details that we didn't even know by looking at old Google slides made by Dan himself.
Okay, if it was an April Fool's joke, that makes a lot of sense. I'm going to choose to believe that it's very legitimate, though.
So, let's get right into it and hop into the complete history of
Is that a
Rivals.
snake?
But wait. Before we can really get into the whole history, we do need to explain some basic building blocks that make up the universe.
Okay,
I'll try and keep
okay.
it brief, but there will be a little bit of info dumping here at the start.
Okay, we can do this.
So, what exactly is the Aether universe? Essentially, all of the games made by Aether Studios all take place in one connected overarching world. Now, to be more specific on what the world of Aether is, it's essentially anything that takes place here, the continent of Aether. Also, I call it Aether, not Aether, so sorry. Pretty much anything that happens in the story takes place here on this continent. Now, there are a few locations that are hinted at that aren't on the continent of Aether, but much like Runeterra and League of Legends, this is pretty much the only continent that matters right now. Although I do want to warn right now, since the universe is nearly a decade old, a lot of stuff has randomly gotten retconned or never really explained again.
Of course,
While the majority
of course.
Of this video is pretty much solely backed with evidence, there are a few places that just aren't very clear and things just kind of happen randomly. One of the best examples is Merchant Port. Sometimes it's called, and I kid you not, Watertown. Very creative, Mr. Finasi. But also often the entirety of the town is also referred to as Merchant Port. So for this video, we'll be calling it Merchant Port. Anyways, the continent of Aether is made up of a vast
two different names,
variety
that's fine.
of biomes, with vast extremes from volcanoes to lush forests and desolate deserts. The world of Aether is pretty much any type of biome smashed together into one supercontinent Pangea style. And among these various locales is a plethora of diverse
I think
flora,
those guys
fauna,
look sick.
wildlife. Yeah, I had to look that one up. And it's the living beings of Aether.
Wait,
some
wait,
of
wait,
which
wait.
may or may not be rivals.
Wait.
Had to look that one up.
Oh,
And it's
okay,
the
never
living
mind.
beings of Aether, some of which may or may
I thought he
not
was
be
talking about
rivals.
animals that were like
That whole
legitimately
story
just
actually
animals
focuses-
and not these fighters.
So, who exactly are the inhabitants of Aether? Although never officially explained, there's definitely a wide range or scale of more creature-like beings and more civilized beings in
Okay.
the world of Aether. Creatures act more like Pokemon. They're sort of just creatures who, although pretty intelligent, don't seem to have their own culture or civilization. They aren't really capable of any oral or written language as far as we're aware, and act more like everyday animals, purely trying to survive the harsh world around them. On the other side of the spectrum, there are highly intelligent beings, typically with more anthropomorphic characteristics. These range from all types of species and are capable of fabricating highly advanced technology and fostering civilized culture. I mean, to give an example, in the world of Aether, there is both just normal fish, but also fishmen who specialize in fishing. So basically, if you're not a very smart fish, you're gonna get eaten. But anyways, the distinction on
Fish
who is
and Fishman and Fishman eats fish.
not really that clear.
All right.
It's not very black and white, and some creatures are definitely in between. But of course, almost all creatures have a connection to the elements. Which brings me to our last point, the elements of Aether. What exactly are they? In the world of Aether, there are 4 fundamental building blocks that make up this world around us. Fire, water,
Fire Nation, Water Nation, Air Nation,
and
Earth Nation.
Sound
We know
familiar?
this.
These are the primary elements of Aether, and each element was bestowed to the people of Aether by 4 deities of each respective element. These deities seem to have blessed almost all of the creatures with at least some kind of connection to the elements, and those blessed by the divine were capable of harnessing this power for good or for less good.
Oh.
However,
Oh,
it's not
no.
just the civilized
Zedibern, what are you doing?
all creatures are also capable of tapping into their elemental connection, and almost all life on Aether seems to possess some sort of connection to the elements. The strength of this connection seems to vary from person to person, some people having more natural talent, while others having to make up for their lack of elemental prowess with their own intelligence. And it's largely unclear if there are really non-elemental beings in the world of Aether, but there are a lot of people who seem to be not quite as in touch with their elemental powers. So those who are naturally gifted seem to be more successful. Now, typically, a person is only capable of
Makes sense.
one of the 4 elements. However, elements aren't quite as rigid and cemented into one's biological makeup.
Oh, I thought they were about to say you could have
Further,
2.
Each element actually has plenty of sub-elements. So just because you have the ability to control Earth doesn't mean you'll have the same abilities as somebody else. You could control plants, crystals, or even rocks and stones. And
This
it
makes
goes
sense.
even beyond this. If an individual is skilled enough, given the time, they can learn the technique of elementalism. Basically, elementalism allows anyone to channel their inner avatar and control all of the elements seamlessly. There's only
Whoa.
one character in all of Aether that we know currently who possesses this ability.
You can just be an
Also
avatar?
happens to be my main character, kind of the goat, but we'll get back to him later. Anyways, this
The Yeti's an
is
avatar?
Aether,
That's sick.
with 4 distinct elements, Pokemon-like creatures in various civilizations, as well as plenty of iconic, unique locales. I think we're now ready to get into the actual history of Aether, starting off going all the way back to the era of legend.
All right.
Long, long ago, before history, before legend even, the gods of Aether created all life as we know it. These deities blessed the people of Aether with their elemental power, creating the peaceful world of Aether. And
Yes, we just
was
learned about
until
this.
A great evil arose, deep beneath the earth, known simply as the darkness of the Abyss. The Abyss
Cool,
was
original.
an unnatural,
Love that.
powerful essence of pure destruction that threatened to wipe out the entirety of life on Aether. Where it comes from and the true nature of its desires have been lost to time. But what we do know about the Abyss was that it was a potential world-ending calamity.
So does this mean darkness is
People of
also an
Aether
element?
fought back. A great war was waged for generations, reshaping Aether as we know it. However, the supernatural power of the Abyss was stronger than any elemental might alone could defeat. All elements, all tribes, united together in an attempt to push back the living night. And according to legend, even the gods of Aether themselves fought and joined on the battlefield. To rid the world of this darkness, the gods created special beings of pure elemental power. These were known as the Titans. The Titans were massive creatures of near limitless elemental might that joined in the war against the Abyss. One such Titan was Amathor, a mountain-sized crystal spider, one of the chosen.
Oh god, I hate that.
Sylvanos. Amathor's scales contained elemental power that could aid the people of Aether in their fight against the Abyss, and 4 champions from each respective element were bestowed shards from Amathor's scales. These scales were capable of absorbing the darkness of the Abyss and transforming it into elemental might, using the darkness as a weapon against itself. And using the darkness, each of these scales granted the user a
Make you into fuel for me.
capable of turning the tide of the war. The drop of nourishment was given to.
All right. So if this giant crystal spider can give away these 4 shards that are going to absorb the darkness and turn it into their own power, that is like so pivotal. First of all, why only 4? Why not more? But second of all, and actually technically, I guess, first of all, why is the spider giving these shards and not just doing that thing itself? Instead of having these 4 different shards that can each become one element, why not just be the dude that absorbs it all and shoots it all back? I guess he was lazy. Yeah, I guess he was. I can give you my power, and a shard of my power will make you very powerful. Now I could have unlimited power on my own, but we don't worry about that. You take the power. You take a little bit of it, and then you take a little bit of it, and you take a little bit of it, and it'll almost be like I was just doing something.
To the champion of water, Genbu. This shard contained the miraculous properties that allowed the user to heal any ailment or injury, no matter the severity. Genbu granted vitality to the warriors in their struggle against the Abyss, saving thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, in the bloodshed. The Ember of Destruction was given to the champion of fire, Ichabod. The shard was capable of immense destruction, razing any that stood in its way to the ground. Although legends say that his brother was more deserving of the
Okay, if he was fighting at the same time, I guess it's fine.
Battlefield, as he disintegrated the darkness before him. The shield
Yeah, just spreading his power out a little bit while he fights. I guess that's okay.
Hemiunu. The shield gave the power of unparalleled resistance to persevere through any blow, no matter the strength. With the shard in hand, Hemiunu became an unbreakable wall in which all of the other champions could rely on against the
Crag?
horrors of the Abyss. And lastly, the Breath of Life was given to the champion of air, Randall. The Breath of Life is perhaps the most
Randall.
supernatural of them all, giving the user essentially immortality. Not only do they have significantly reduced aging, but even if their heartbeat stopped and their pulse disappeared, they would not die. As long as they had the shard in hand, on the battlefield, Randall could not fall. With the power of the shards in
The
hand,
immortal
and the
Randall.
Titans and gods fighting with them, the champions vanquished the darkness, pushing the creatures of the Abyss back from whence they came. To finish this battle once and for all, deep beneath Aether, the 4 champions used a combination of the shards to seal away the Abyss for eternity. And so, the legend of this battle, and the existence of the mighty Titans, faded into myth. Some wonder if this battle even occurred, and if these 4 champions were merely fiction. But thanks to their efforts, life on Aether entered an era of...
You're saying Randall the Cloud from Melee gained sentience and becomes an immortal being capable of defeating the darkness? Honestly, I believe it.
peace and prosperity.
Based on everything we've learned so far in Rivals, I believe it.
With no great evil to unite the elements together, the gods of Aether turned on one another. They fought for dominance of the continent, and so
Oh, no.
the people of Aether's alliance shattered with it.
Who'd have
One god
thought?
in particular sought to conquer the entire continent in one vast forest. Sylvanos, the heart of the Etherian forest and the god of earth. Although he often takes the form of a wolf, Sylvanos is in essence a purely plant-like deity spirit, capable of
that guy looks cool.
transforming and shape-shifting into any form that fits his desires.
Ooh.
And well, his
That's fun.
desire was to spread the great Etherian forest as far as the eye could see. Sylvanos was known for his aggression. One fable tells of him chasing the fire god Fulcrum across Aether, forcing him to burrow far underground to hide from Sylvanos, as he tunneled across Aether, creating magma tubes all the way until the Firelands far to the east. However, as Sylvanos continued his expansion across Aether and the forest grew with it, the many fire tribes in the Firelands united under one fearsome banner, which would become the Flame Imperium. They fought back against the forest expansion, starting the Era of Fire, marked by the start of another great war which is also known as the Aetherian Forest Fire. Of course, the people of the forest fought to protect their homeland, while the Fire Imperium fought to rid the forest of their lands. During the war, the heart of
You could almost say that everything changed when the Fire Nation...
the forest, Sylvanos, grew cancerous. The desire to expand consumed him, and as such, he expanded into deserts and swamps, places that forests should never grow. Other than the Firelands, almost the entirety of Aether was consumed in forest. And soon, seafaring merchants in the south began to settle on the southern coast and plundered the lumber from the forest. They used this lumber to make vast amounts of ships.
This is good.
as
This
well
makes
as a
sense.
port city, which would later be named
Use that wood.
Port. The forest began
Watertown.
to shrink as
Hell
Sylvanas
yeah.
became weakened from the multiple forces. And the forest dwellers had to come up with a solution to protect themselves from the Fire Imperium and contain the vengeful spirit of Sylvanos. The tree dwellers made a pact
Hey, it's Craig.
with beneath the ground. They were capable of manipulating rock and stone and were tasked to construct a mighty wall. These people would later be known as the Wall Runners and were tasked
you build a
to
wall?
protect and maintain this border between the forest and the outside world. However, to do this, they needed the help of the mightiest of mighty, the strongest wall runner in all of Aetherian history, Crag, the Earth's bastard.
Oh, it actually is him.
Crag had complete mastery of Earth, capable of raising pillars of Earth at his command. Without him, they stood no chance of containing the forest deity. With the help of his fellow
Okay, so not all the Beatles can do that. He's just real strong.
Massive structure known
Okay.
as the Rock Wall. Again, very creative name. The Rock Wall stood tall and contained the entirety of the forest, nearly 1/6 of the Aetherian continent. Although, because the heart of the forest was contained, the lands outside the wall became dry and desolate, creating a large disparity between the two sides of the wall. On one side, a lush forest, and the other, a barren wasteland. All of these wall runners were capable of curling up and rolling across the
And I guess Sylvanas was
in fact,
too
they
weak
even
to
measured
just
their
go
own
over the wall at
lifespans
this
by
point.
How many times they would loop the wall. And although Crag did trap Sylvanos, he did not let up. The forest floor became a dark and dangerous place for the ordinary forest dwellers, and those who were wise stuck to the treetops, avoiding coming in contact with the vengeful deity. These folk became
Okay.
the treetop dwellers, isolated from the outside world, living amongst the top of the trees. And it is from their records that we know about the history of this event, the whole entire Aetherian forest fire, and the creation of the Rock Wall. And these events had significant impact.
I'm assuming that's
on all of
Maple,
Aether,
the kid.
especially to those who lived south in the Archine Mountains. At the top of the Archine Mountains was the home of the Air Alliance, a civilization of those connected to the air element. The winged citizens of the Alliance used to fly high above the trees of the great Aetherian forest, while meanwhile, the non-flying elders of the air dispensed wisdom and law from the Archean mountaintops, while society flourished in the valley below, under a peaceful neutrality. However, when the Fire Imperium fought back against the forest, all of the winged citizens who witnessed all of the violence and murder began to question the peaceful policies of the mountain-dwelling elders. This formed a political rift between those who could fly and those who couldn't within the Air Alliance. And ultimately, the winged citizens split from the Air Alliance, forming a new, aggressive...
That makes sense. The ones who can get out and see the world are like, no, like your policy doesn't make sense.
They feared if they didn't begin their own conquest of territory,
I love
they
this.
too would be run over by the Fire Imperium. As such, they began to
All right, if Mango did get a Star Spangled Raster skin, now it just extra makes sense.
constructing massive airships and military bases, taking control of the southwest quadrant of the continent. And soon after, a formal declaration of war was put out against the Fire Imperium. Now, despite the Alliance being destroyed, many still stayed with the pacifists in the
Wait, hold on. So the Air Nation splits off, and you get mountain people and you get flying people. And the flying people declare war on the fire people because the fire people are burning back the plant people, the forest people. But the forest people aren't actually bad. It's Sylvanos who's bad, but like the forest people still do need to be able to like protect themselves and all that. So the Fire Nation attacks Sylvanos and pushes them back so that they don't invade the Fire Nation. Were the Fire Nation being like extra aggressive after the fact? Did I miss that? Because it sounded like they were just protecting themselves, and now the Air Nation is like choosing to fight them because they're protecting themselves. Did I miss something there? Is the Fire Nation becoming the bad guys during all of this? Yes, they were. So they like the Fire Nation fought back and then was like, okay, we won more. Now we want more. Okay. Okay, then it makes sense. So they lived long enough to become the bad guys, and now the Air Nation is fighting them. Okay. Okay.
The mountaintops. And one such citizen was the young girl, Absa, the Storm Architect. Absa was a young
Storm
child when
Architect.
She saw the Air Alliance
That's cool.
split in half. She was a math prodigy and skilled inventor. But as she got older, she became more and more aware of the vulnerability of her pacifist society. In an attempt to isolate themselves, she mastered and studied weather patterns, eventually being able to harness the power of lightning and manifesting a large permanent electrical storm surrounding the mountaintop. The elders were incredibly impressed with Absa's feat, and considered themselves now impervious to the outside world. However, Absa actually doubted that the storm would deter invaders for long, and despite the laws forbidding any practice of violence, Absa knew she needed to do something. She found and joined a hidden martial arts society deep in the caves of the Archine Mountains. There, she honed her martial arts skills with other skilled warriors, and learned ways to use her storm technique for offensive capabilities. If the need ever arose, she was prepared to defend her home.
I love this.
to
New
end
favorite
this
character.
chapter,
Absa,
let's
new
check out
favorite
our
character.
map. We now have our main four factions. The Flame Imperium to the east, a united empire of fire citizens who control the eastern Firelands. The city of Merchantport to the south, run primarily by a naval-based trade company known as the Water Trade Company, or WTC for short. The ever-aggressive Air Armada to the southwest, pushing their boundaries and
Also, why is the Fire Nation on the other side of the river from the volcano? Why isn't the Fire Nation by the volcano?
retaliation against the Fire Imperium. And lastly, in the northwest is the Forest Dwellers, living in isolation from the outside world. This about brings us up to the modern day. Now, it's a bit unclear how much time has taken place from the events of the Great Ethereal Forest Fire, but it's very clear a lot of things have changed. We are now ready to jump into the present day, the modern world of Aether.
Ooh. Ooh, it's now. Oh.
Now, things from here get a little messy. We're talking about the events of the story mode from Rivals 1, which doesn't have the best reputation. We're definitely stepping into
Incredible.
some retcon territory, and some things aren't really going to make a lot of sense. But we did do our best to try and organize it into one coherent timeline. So, let's get right back into it.
All right, I believe in you.
First,
You
our
can do
story
it.
brings us to the Fire Capital, the largest city in the Flame Imperium. The current leader is Emperor Renburn, who has two children,
Renburn.
his adopted eldest son, Forsburn, and his younger biological son, Zetterburn. As
Huh.
the Emperor of the Flame Imperium, Renburn
So
was a
Forsburn
mighty
and Zetterburn are
leader,
brothers.
and he wished for both of his sons to
Non-biologically,
lead
but
to a
still.
bright future. As such, despite them still being young, he believed they should be sent off to train in the Eastern Mountains. There they could learn about their elemental power from a master of the elements, a wise sage named Hodon. However, Loxodon,
That's really
head of
the animation they used?
trade and good friend of Renburn, insisted that Hodon was a foolish master and advised against sending them. And historically, Loxodon was the right hand of the Emperor. The Fire Imperium even had a saying, Renburn ruled, but Loxodon governed. However, despite his advice, Renburn was adamant. They must send the young boys to Hodon's dojo deep in the mountains. So it was decided that Zetterburn and Forsburn would be sent off to train in the Eastern Mountains. Here they would train with other martial artists from all
Ooh.
across Aether in the way of
That raccoon looks sick.
where all elements come together peacefully. However, the two boys were sent specifically to better understand and harness their firepower. And although their primary goal was to learn combat skills for the battlefield, Hodon made sure to stress the importance of harmony between the elements, trying to seek a peaceful resolution before resorting to violence. Unfortunately, the two young boys didn't care much for that last part. And over the years, both Forsburn and Zetterburn would grow into quite accomplished members of the royal family. Forsburn grew up to become the chief diplomat of the Flame Imperium, and was actively working in the politics with his father. He was often relied upon to both broker treaties as well as quietly assassinate any threats to the kingdom.
All right,
Zetterburn,
love
on
it.
the other hand, grew up to become quite the accomplished military general. He had no interest in the larger politics of the world, and was focused mostly on his combat prowess. He became quite the experienced and hardened warrior and fought in many wars for the Flame Imperium, and becoming a hero for the people of the Firelands. However, Zetterburn's unquestioning
Interesting.
allegiance at times made him quite blind to the larger picture and the morality of his actions.
Okay, so
Both
I thought
sons
Zetterburn was a
were
good guy, but
heirs
maybe not
to
so much.
be the next emperor after Renburn. However, after years of unquestioning service on the Fire Council, Forsburn began to question the motives of some of his colleagues, sensing corruption beneath the surface. But before he could uncover the treacherous nature of this plot, tragedy would strike. After returning home from a diplomatic mission, Forsburn found his adopted father, Renburn, slain.
Oh
And worst
no.
of all, the dagger protruding from his heart was none other than his own.
Oh.
Forsburn had been framed
Oh,
as the murderer
no.
of his father. Immediately, Forsburn ran into hiding, going deep beneath the capital, hiding in the aqueducts below. Meanwhile, Zetterburn returned to the capital after successfully defeating.
Zetterburn's not evil, he's just morally gray.
Had been plundering their trade routes.
I assume he
After
thinks he's the
successful
good
battle,
guy,
he
but
was
he's maybe
advised
not
his
on the
father
best
was
side.
in fact mourning. And soon after, he was informed of the passing of his father. But more importantly, the Fire Council let him know that it was most likely Forsburn who had committed the patricide. And it was Loxodont who would be crowned as the new emperor in Renburn's place, as the Fire Council reassured Zetterburn that it was his father's wish. Zetterburn reluctantly accepted the council's will and pledged his loyalty to the soon-to-be emperor Loxodont. Forsburn, on the other hand,
Okay,
was
so Loxodont's a bad guy.
framed as the murderer, so
Got it.
Loxodont could seize the throne in his place. He immediately seeks his brother to explain the dire circumstances, and that night, he snuck into Zetterburn's chambers to approach his brother about the conspiracy, believing it was the Fire Council's plot to kill their father. However, it was too late. Zetterburn was convinced of Forsburn's treason. He believed he was guilty without a second thought. In a blind rage,
Damn.
Zetterburn attacked his brother.
Oh,
and
no.
After a brief scuffle, betrayed and injured, Forsburn barely managed to escape the scene, and Zetterburn was left devastated, having just lost his father and believing his brother to be a traitorous exile.
Damn,
Forsburn
son.
was forced to go on the run, and for days he roamed aimlessly around the outskirts of the Fire Imperium. That was until one day he awoke to find himself surrounded by murky strangers. They revealed themselves to be members of the Smoke Clan, a group of exiles from the Fire Imperium. They captured the ex-prince and brought him to their settlement, hidden in the north of the Firelands. It was here that the leader of the Smoke Clan, Clayan, introduced herself to Forsburn, who, might I add, got a super big blow up in the comics. Way to go, Clayan.
Hell yeah.
Forsburn revealed himself to be the ex-prince of the Fire Imperium, and explained the story of his father's passing.
Someone definitely
Clayan
woke
was
up during these
impressed by
comments.
Forsburn's ability and sympathized with his plight. She offered him an opportunity at a new life if he was willing to devote his allegiance to the Smoke Clan. Forsburn, with not much left to his name, he accepted his new identity and renounced the Flame Imperium.
Mm-hmm. It's fair, honestly.
Meanwhile,
At that point.
over in the Etherian Forest, our story brings us to the young treetop dweller known as Maple, the Sylvan Watcher. As the self-appointed protector of the forest, she roams the treetops with her plant companion, Lily. Recently, Maple has felt a disturbance deep beneath the roots, a sickness brewing beneath all of Ether. While patrolling the forest, looking for the source of this ominous feeling, she discovered strange purple, root-like tentacles that were corrupting the nearby plant life. It was just as Maple had feared. Something ominous was infecting the forest. She followed the tentacles through the forest to the outer edges, and to her surprise, they went beyond the rock wall. To save her forest from this eldritch shadow.
So that's Sylvanos, or is that the
She
darkness?
must traverse the rock wall and head east. Before leaving, she gave Lily to her younger sister Mayreed, and
Aw.
also handed her a letter to explain her discoveries of the purple rot to the other forest dwellers. Mayreed begged Maple not to leave, as they both sensed the evil is far greater than any danger seen before. But Maple, not deterred in the slightest, headed out into the wasteland beyond the wall. And for months, she traversed the wastelands, growing weaker and weaker each day away from her home. Back at the Fire Capital, the day of Emperor Loxodon's coronation had come. The citizens of the Flame Imperium bestowed Loxodon
Lame.
the sacred torch, the symbol of the Imperium. This torch granted the right of fire, the source of the people's connection to the element. And if it were ever to be extinguished, the citizens of the Fire Imperium would slowly lose their elemental connection entirely. And
Oh.
as if on cue,
Oh, that's
suddenly
crazy.
a shadowy water creature leaped from the crowd and grabbed the sacred flame.
Is that
From
Arcane?
the crowd, Zetterburn recognized the culprit as the elusive water trickster, or Kane.
It is.
But before he could act, the creature leaped through a puddle and disappeared with the torch in hand.
Fucking hate that
Fire
fish dog.
Council erupted in chaos, and Loxodont demanded Zetterburn hunt down and retrieve the stolen torch. Ever loyal to the Flame Imperium, Zetterburn began his march to the city of Merchant Port, the home of Orcane. And it wasn't long until Forsburn heard word of his brother's departure from the capital. Despite his loyalty to the Smoke Clan, Forsburn decided to use this opportunity to find and confront his brother. Forsburn emerged from a smoke portal in the Fire Capital. But what he saw before him was nothing but a distorted, shadowy imposter of his younger brother. Confused and outraged, Forsburn engaged the imposter, and using his newfound powers of smoke, easily defeated the Eldritch being. However, to Forsburn's surprise, on the northern horizon, he notices a blaze in the distance. While he was fighting the shadowy monster, the Smoke Clan hideout was set ablaze. Immediately, Forsburn raced back home, never finding his brother or confronting the false emperor.
So someone's
Meanwhile, a few
copying
months into her
people.
journey, Maple stumbled across a large fire
And also luring him
burning
away.
settlement. And to her shock, she witnessed the Flame Imperium launching an
Oh.
assault on the Smoke Clan settlement.
Poor
But
Snake.
before she could act, suddenly a portal of smoke emerged, and Forsburn materialized on the scene. Blinded by rage, Forsburn mistakenly identified Maple as one of the assailants. And as Maple witnessed Forsburn's smoke sorcery, she presumed him
Come
to
on,
be the
man.
culprit of the mysterious shadow in the forest. After a brief scuffle, Maple demanded to know Forsburn's motive behind the shadowy sickness in the forest. Taken aback, Forsburn explained his own encounter with a similar shadow, and the two realized they were no enemies after all. Maple recognized
There you go.
that Forsburn could be a potential
Gotta beat each
ally
other up a little bit
for
first.
Ethan.
Then you can be
And
friends.
determined to find the source, the two headed out southwest to the Godai Delta. Now, you might be wondering, what about the Smoke Clan? Isn't it on fire and aren't they being attacked? Well, it never really gets addressed, but I mean, surely they probably stopped the Fire Imperium before they left. Or maybe they didn't. It's up to your interpretation.
Oh.
Anyways,
Oh.
when the two head towards the source of the evil, our story returns.
So they
to the
might be
Imperium
extinct.
Force.
We
This
don't know.
time, the legendary wall runner, Crag, is patrolling the rock wall.
Hey.
Crag stumbles upon the unthinkable, a breach in the northern wall, which based on the map is oddly definitely not on the north side of the wall. A breach in the rock
That's fun.
wall of this size would have devastating consequences on all of Ether. So swiftly, Crag begins his repairs on the damage. But out of nowhere, a rock is hurled right at Crag from inside the forest. His rock-bound mind can barely comprehend what he sees. A purple treetop dweller is launching an assault from inside the forest on the rock wall.
The
Crag
Shadow Maple?
immediately engages in combat, and the commotion of their battle attracts nearby treetop dwellers to the scene. And after Crag quickly disposes of the ominous purple maple, Mayreed approaches the legendary wall runner with a letter. The letter explains Maple's findings on the purple rock and her reason for leaving the forest, possibly the same explanation behind the breach in the rock wall. Mayreed begs Crag to take Lily and follow Maple's path to help her against the darkness, and Crag agrees to the mission. But before he heads out, he returns to the rock wall to once again repair the damage. When
All right, just imagine in Rivals 2, Crag has the plant instead of Maple. That'd be sick.
suddenly, again, his peaceful wall building is interrupted. This time, two Air Armada scouts were surveying the area surrounding the rock wall. The first was Raster.
What are you doing?
Raster was a cocky and arrogant, although extremely talented, Air Armada soldier. He's known for his fierce and unpredictable fighting style across all of Ether, and was the youngest ever trainee in the history of the Air Academy. The second scout was his partner, Bradshaw, who honestly we don't know too much about. What we know
Incredible.
is that Bradshaw is more cautious and reliable, and a steady support for Raster's
Number 2. We don't know anything about him, though.
Both Raster and Bradshaw noticed this hole in the rock wall and dove down to investigate. And Crag, having just fought the mysterious abyss creature, was on high alert. Seeing two Air Armada soldiers diving towards him, he interpreted it as an attack from the Air Armada. So Crag absolutely folds Bradshaw like an omelet, knocking him out of the fight immediately.
Incredible.
Leading it to a 1v1 between Raster
Oh,
and
didn't it
Crag.
say that Crag was
And
attacked
Raster,
by
after
them?
witnessing his best friend out of nowhere get destroyed, jumped into the fray, prepared to fight off Crag. And despite what you might think, he actually successfully fended off Crag on his own. And while Crag is recovering, Raster quickly swoops up Bradshaw and retreats to safety. Crag, on the other hand, gets back up and quickly repairs the rock wall. Then he heads out east.
The man just wants to build his
finding
wall.
Maple and putting a stop to the chaos. Meanwhile, again, our story brings us to the city of Merchantport, the port town run by the Water Trade Company. In a meeting room, the board members of the company are furious over their recent trade routes being plundered by Air Armada ships. Don Whitefish, the chairman of the company, proposes
That is a
plan to
goldfish?
infiltrate and take back their stolen goods. But for the plan to succeed, they would need the help of the most notorious trickster in all of Ether. Of course, I'm talking about Orcane, the puddle jumper. Due
Nope.
to his unique ability
Nope.
to teleport to any body of water, he's become
Nope.
a very useful asset to the town. The chairman
We
had
don't
a
stand the
local
fish dog.
fisherman, Nesbit. as he knew Orkane had a fondness for the fisherman and his granddaughter Melby. Nesbit and the chairman manage to bargain a deal where Orkane will help the Water Trade Company. Melby is the only one who can communicate with Orkane, and after she explains the mission to Orkane, he agrees to help. He teleports to an unguarded sink on the Armada, which implies that some sinks are guarded, I guess, and Orkane begins to look for the missing goods stolen by the Armada. While sneaking around, Orkane stumbles across a peculiar scene. He spots the leader of the Armada, Commander Swiftwing, making a trade deal with a shadowy creature. The commander is offering all of the water trade goods, worth millions, in exchange for a singular scroll. The scroll appears to indicate the weak spots in the defense of all.
The commander is trading with
Now,
a shadow raster?
why does the Abyss want the money, and how did they obtain such a scroll? Well, we don't know, and sadly it never really gets explained.
Oh, good.
Maybe in Rivals 2. Anyways, while no one is looking, Orkane steals the stolen goods and begins his retreat. And on his way out, he encounters the wounded Bradshaw and Raster returning to the ship. Raster is shocked to see a water creature all the way up in their flying armada, and immediately he challenges Orkane to close-quarter combat. Meanwhile, in action
first talk later.
Meanwhile, Zetterburn reaches Merchant Port, looking to retrieve the stolen torch, which he believes was taken by Orkane. In a rage, he
But of
begins
course
to
with
light
Shadow
the entire
Orkane.
city ablaze, destroying the
Oh.
World Jumper's home. On the docks
Oh.
of the city, Zetterburn encounters the shadowy Orkane, guarding the ceremony.
Oh, he bad.
Zetterburn absolutely destroys the creature, and as it dissipates into purple smoke, he realizes his mistake, as obviously it wasn't Orkane. Full of doubt, he grabs the torch. Probably, again, it's not very clear, but it'd be kind of weird to just leave it on the ground. And he notices more purple, shadowy smoke on the horizon. Trying to find the source of this madness, he heads towards the smoke. As for Orkane, he's quick to make light work of Raster, and with the stolen goods in tow, he returns to Merchant Port. However, the city is ablaze. He immediately evacuates Nesbit and Melby to safety.
Oh
And they
God, it's so
inform
sad.
Orkane that it was a mad general of the Flame Imperium who was responsible for the fire. Orkane sniffs out the trail of Zetterburn and begins his own trek to get justice for his hometown. As for Raster, he's still pretty mad about what Crag did to Bradshaw, and heads out to seek revenge against Crag.
I swear when they were writing the story, they're like whiteboarding it out, and at the very top of the whiteboard they write out, these characters cannot talk to each other. And then they underline it like 6 times. That's the underlying theme to this story. Is they're not allowed to talk to each other.
And like that, everyone's stories begin to converge in the middle of Ether, in a location known as the Godai Delta. And it's here that the 6 elemental heroes met on a cliffside near the center of the Delta. And despite their rivalries, after each and every one of them explained their side of the story, they put aside their differences.
Okay, now they talk.
When suddenly, a large stone pillar arose from the sea, and shadowy tentacles emerged from the waters. The ancient stone platform appears to be a gateway in which the abyss from beneath Ether is leaking up to the surface. And guarding this gateway was 2 mysterious abyss monsters. So of course the heroes engage the monstrosity of the abyss. Using their elemental powers combined, they vanquish the shadowy imposters conjured by the monsters. Even Forsburn and Zetterburn work together to attack the abyss. And ultimately, they even defeated the gatekeepers themselves. After defeating the horrors from below, the United Warriors, the new champions of Ether, recover from the battle atop the platform. The 2 Flame Imperium princes mend their burnt bridge, but their reunion would be short-lived, when suddenly the gateway platform plummeted deep beneath the earth into the darkness of the abyss. In the abyss, the champions fight an endless
Wasn't this
battle
thing also
with
over the
shadows,
water?
trapped beneath the earth for all eternity. And this is canonically where the story of Rivals 1 ends.
What?
With all of our heroes being trapped beneath the earth. And it seems like the Rivals 2 story will pick up from right here.
Oh.
As the heroes are attempting to escape the abyss and make it back to the surface. But since this video is coming out before the Rivals 2 story mode releases, your guess is as good as mine. Now, while this is the end of the Rivals 1 story, there is still a lot of lore left. And the stories of both Dungeons of Ether and Tales of Ether have major impact on the storyline of the Champions of Ether. But before we jump into the story of Dungeons of Ether, there are 3 characters in the world of Ether who don't really fit into the overarching narrative, but are definitely worth mentioning, as their stories do have impact on the overall world building.
All right, hit me.
Let's jump into a really quick mini chapter to cover some of these side stories.
Hey, it's the Frog
First of
Boy.
our side stories is Rano, the poisonous pacifist. Honestly, there isn't much we know about Rano, as his lore is some of the least developed on the roster.
I love
that.
that.
Being said, though, he is shaping up to
He's just a
probably
guy.
be an important character in
He's got
Rivals
nothing.
2,
He's just a guy.
Although it's unclear exactly what his goals are or his role in the story will be. What we do know is that, according to Dan in an old presentation during Rano's reveal, Rano is a pacifist who trained in martial arts with martial arts masters from the Arkai Mountains, just like Absa.
Makes sense.
Afterwards, he returned to his home in the Swampy Estuary, a marsh east of Merchant Port. It's here that he currently resides and trains under Master Kai, a skilled martial arts master and expert of poison. And Rano is learning that same poison technique, and uses it to cleanse the swamp water and purify it. And that's about it for Rano. It definitely seems likely that Rano will eventually travel to the Ho Dojo and begin his training in elementalism, especially given his
Neat.
pacifist nature, but this is just merely speculation.
Oh man, I want to play Avatar Frog.
Do. But definitely be on the lookout for Rano in Rivals 2. Next is the story of Eliana, the aerial arsenal.
What?
Eliana was a snake.
Oh, the
living in
snake.
burrows of the wasteland east of the Arctic
Oh, the
Mountains.
snake.
Living under the territory of the Air Armada, Eliana dreamed of soaring the skies above. And when an opportunity to join the Air Armada came her way, she knew she needed to prove herself. So she headed to the nearby recruitment center, and as you'd expect, they were baffled to see a snake applying, as obviously snakes can't fly. But after proving she was knowledgeable on the written test, all she had to do was pass the practical test of flying across a large gap. And she failed, pretty hilariously. And although she failed to prove that she can fly, she wasn't defeated. Eliana was determined to prove she was born to fly. Eliana kept returning to the recruitment center with new machines. And again, she wasn't able to do it. Until she did. Eliana proved them
She
all
did it.
wrong, and that she was actually
Fuck them
capable of
racist
flight
birds.
with just a little bit of brain power and some mechanical help. However, the Armada she glorified so much that she wanted to join resented Eliana. They saw a snake trying to fly as a mockery of flight. And Commander Swiftwing grabbed Eliana and threw her back to the burrows.
Jeez.
Finally defeated, with her dreams crushed, she was a little upset. However, she was stubborn and knew she could fly with the best of them.
Get it, girl.
To do so, she needed help. So she traveled to the nearby steampunk city of Julesvale, located in
Oh, hell
Jules
yeah.
Valley, near the
Steampunk
base of
city.
Arcane Mountain Range. Julesvale was a city full of merchants, travelers, and most importantly, mechanics. And while stumbling around the city, she encountered the expert engineer, Ayala. Ayala specialized in steam-powered machines, and with Eliana's knowledge on the mechanics of flight, the two could make Eliana's dream come true. And reluctantly, Ayala actually agreed to help out Eliana, and the two worked together to craft a state-of-the-art flying mech that Eliana could operate. Once they finished up, before doing the final touches
Hell
to
yeah.
stop it from overheating,
Mech
Ayala
snake.
needed to get some sleep. But in the meantime, Eliana made some additions. Finally, she revealed her intentions. She was not simply trying to soar the skies, but she wanted to take revenge and destroy the
Oh,
Armada.
hell yeah.
With her flying death machine,
Absolutely.
Eliana became the deadly scourge of the skies, with her one goal being to destroy the Air Armada, which honestly is pretty
Incredible.
impressive considering her humble beginnings. And really, this is pretty much it for Eliana's story. She's sort of a villain or anti-hero, depending on how you see it. And really, the most important thing about her story is Julesvale and the introduction of the city, which is probably one of the most important cities in the Ether universe. Lastly, and
I like
perhaps
this.
the most mysterious of them all, is Edalus, the Glacier's Might. Edalus is perhaps one of the most interesting characters in the Ether universe because, well, he doesn't actually live on Ether. Edalus comes from
Oh, this guy
another
rules.
continent called the Ice Barrens. Oddly, though, we actually don't fully know where the Ice Barrens are. We just know it's called the Northern Continent. And given the fact that
it's
Edalus'
north.
people are called the Hyperboreans, which in the real world is a reference to a continent that is north of the real known world, you might think that it would be completely north and separated by ocean from the Ether. However, this isn't fully true. According to Hodon's bio, his mountains actually border the Ice Barrens. And given the look of the map, one might argue that the Ice Barrens are actually this area off to the northeast of Ether. And perhaps much like Europe and Asia in the real world, they're just considered different continents due to their geographical differences.
Huh,
Especially
okay.
considering there's a very large mountain range separating the two. But really, we don't know. So hey, Dan, if you're watching this, let us know in the comments. Where
Get your
is the
shit
Ice
together,
Barrens?
Dan.
So although we don't know where the Ice Barrens really are, we do know a lot about it. Edalus is one of the Hyperboreans, the people that survive the harsh conditions of the Ice Barrens. And specifically, he's a member of the elite battalion known as the Harbor Guard, which in history have defended the Hyperboreans from other elemental factions trying to invade the Ice Barons. However, lately in the world of Aether, the contact with the Harbor Guard and the Hyperboreans has all but disappeared, and the people of Aether are simply left to believe that the Hyperboreans were maybe forced to retreat inland, as the Harbor Guard were maybe defeated by an elemental faction. The reality is Daedalus and the Harbor Guard actually left their posts at the coast to go further inland to find and battle a deadly threat known as the Black Ice. The Black Ice has been
Okay, so just their own
tormenting the
shadow.
Hyperboreans, and these creatures of ice and shadow descended upon their homes and began to slaughter the Hyperboreans.
Dark Eyes
Sadly,
dinosaurs.
The Harbor Guard was too late. Many Hyperboreans were already defeated, and many great warriors of the Harbor Guard also fell in battle. And Daedalus was one of the few warriors that survived the encounter with the Black Ice. And now alone, he wanders the northern reaches of the Ice Barrens, looking to hunt and destroy the source of the Black Ice. Meanwhile, the remaining Hyperboreans that survived the massacre scattered across the tundras looking for a new place to call home. And that is Daedalus' story.
Neat.
It's kind of
I want this guy in Rivals
a
too.
little bit random, but definitely intriguing. And that about covers it for our main 3 side stories. As you've seen, they're not completely connected to the main overarching story, but definitely have implications on the world building of Aether. And with that out of the way, I think we're now ready to jump into the story of Dungeons of Aether. And it's important to
All
note
right,
that
game number
all the
2.
events in Dungeons of Aether actually take place at the same time as
Randall.
Rivals 1. So let's jump right into it.
This one's got Randall.
Our story brings us back to the bustling city of Julesvale, which recently has had a gold rush in the nearby mines. The caverns deep below Julesvale are filled with precious relics and valuable minerals, but this particular mining craze has been sparked by the recent discovery of a brand new ore called Amcidian. Amcidian has the miraculous properties of being able to rejuvenate and empower those who wield it, and as such the price has skyrocketed in the market. Foreigners from all
Now,
across Aether
is it just purple or is it shadow? Because it looks like a shadow, like ore.
And the most nefarious player in this race for the Amcidian is none other than Badger Co. The corporation has
Badger
a large stake in
Co.
the mining game and is doing its best to muscle out all the competition and capitalize off this new craze by any means necessary, including putting the safety of the people at risk. Badger Co. runs the city
Obviously.
of Julesvale, and their monopoly is nearly unstoppable. But there is one hero who emerged with the goal of thwarting their evil. Her name is Fleet, the Archer of Justice. Fleet is the
Archer of
self-proclaimed
Justice,
protector of
alright.
Julesvale, and in Robin Hood style, steals from the corrupt and gives to the exploited. And her current target is Badger Co. While looking for leads, she mistakenly encountered
Alright, love this so
and
far.
identified Ayala as a member of Badger Co. But after interrogating Ayala, she realized that she no longer works at the company. Originally, Ayala was tasked to make an automated mining machine for Badger Co. But Badger Co. didn't care much for the safety measures that Ayala put in place, and after she protested about the potential of hazards and dangers, she was fired. And after hearing the story, Fleet realized that they both had the same goal, to take down Badger Co. So reluctantly, Ayala decides to help out Fleet. Ayala has Fleet go into the mines below and retrieve some of her stolen blueprints to see what Badger Co. is plotting. And when Fleet
I wonder how
recovers the
Fleet
plans,
feels
Ayala
about the
disappointed
snake that
her
wants to
fears
blow
come
up the
true.
Air Armada.
Badger Co. is creating the Mega Digger, a ginormous automated
The
mining
Mega
machine
Digger.
capable of undermining the entire city of Julesvale. And Foreman Kohler plans to run a test run of the drill deeper in the caverns. So Ayala asks Fleet to put a stop to the test run. where the
Is
entire
Dungeons
city of
fun?
Julesvale
It looks like something that I might be able to like get really into, but I don't know that I would like buy it just to
Eventually
to
stumbles
figure
upon
out, you know?
Foreman Kohler himself. The foreman, of course, has no plans to stop their excavation. And while he can't bury the truth, he certainly can bury bodies.
Oh.
And threatens to take out Fleet if she
Oh.
won't back down. But Fleet's not deterred, and with her trusty bow, empowered by wind gems that give her elemental might, she swiftly defeats the foreman and puts the
Nice.
drill out of commission. And for the time being, both Ayala and Fleet have successfully thwarted or at least put a dent in Badger Co.'s plans. But of course, the company won't disappear overnight, and they have a lot of work to do to loosen their grip over Julesvale. And in the meantime, Fleet begins to wander the streets of the city, when she's approached by the local generous
Randall.
philanthropist, Randall. Wait, that sounds familiar. Randall was known for having a massive hoard of obsidian. However, he also liked to give it away to people in need, and was a hero within the community. Although Randall tells Fleet that recently he sensed a darkness brewing in Julesvale.
I don't trust
and is
it.
in dire need of Fleet's aid. He tells Fleet that he had enlisted 3 foreigners who came to town in order to help him stop the looming darkness, but all 3 of them had betrayed him. all three of them went into the depths of the caverns below and stole ancient relics of Julesvale for their own greed.
Oh,
Randall
rude.
believes that the three might actually be working in cahoots with Badger Co. and tasks Fleet to find the thieves and put a stop to their antics, as well as take back the relics. The first of these thieves was the pirate Slade. Slade came to Julesvale from far away.
Oh, but Slade looks really
from an island chain
cool.
in the ocean south of Ether, called the Polkai Islands. The people of these volcanic islands live in these small communities, living off the land and harvesting the waves.
What game is
However,
this?
the islands are also known for having a plethora of pirates. And some of these pirate sightings have even been seen as far up north as merchant ports. And Slade happens to be one such pirate, having come all the way up to Ether. However, he reassured the people of Ether that he comes with a good cause. He told one local reporter...
Oh yeah,
that
Slade for Rivals 2 would be
years,
awesome.
divine
This character looks
that
really
came
cool.
to the Polkai Islands and shaped their culture for generations. However, recently, one of the three spirits, simply called Joy, stopped appearing and threw off the balance of the region. In order to save the Polkai Islands, Slade is now on the hunt to find and bring back Joy to his home. And despite this good-natured story, some still believe that Slade is just a pirate looking for more treasures. And in fact, that was sort of the case. Slade approached Randall as he had heard about his stash of obsidian, and Randall agreed to make an offer for some of the obsidian. If Slade went down to the depths of the mines and retrieved a relic known as the Drop of Nourishment from an oasis deep in the caves, then Randall was willing to give as much obsidian as Slade needed. He began his journey to the underground oasis, a beautiful, water-filled portion of the caverns. And after doing some investigating and defeating some shadowy obsessed miners, he actually managed to find the Drop of Nourishment. With the relic in hand, he returned back to the surface. He mentions that his goal was only to find obsidian to lure Orcane back to the Polkai Islands. Wait a second, Orcane?
Wait, what?
Alright, this line...
Why would Orcane want
other
obsidian?
lines later in the story have major implications on the Ether universe. But warning, we are sort of stepping into speculation territory, so although it's not completely confirmed, it's definitely heavily implied. So, based on this line, it seems that Orcane also originates from the Polkai Islands, which makes a lot of sense since we know Orcane doesn't originate from Merchant Port, but rather arrived one day. But the most interesting thing here is that it implies that Slade is trying to lure Orcane back to the Polkai Islands because Orcane is the spirit of joy, one of the gods of the Polkai Island. So, is Orcane actually a water deity? It would explain why he's more creature-like than person.
I hate this.
And
Get these
also why
pictures out of here.
his abilities are so OP. I mean, he can literally teleport to any body of water. And do I have to point out the giant Orcane statue in Merchant Port? Now, there could be another reason for this giant statue. Maybe it's not Orcane, but the similarity...
This was confirmed in his Rivals 2 reveal trailer that he is the god Joy, or is the embodiment of the god Joy. So that's real. This is what you're talking about, that he is like a god, or like a being holding a god or something. That's crazy.
Clarity is right there. And although it's not confirmed,
I hate this
it
dogfish.
definitely seems like Slade just said that Orcane is in fact a god. Slade is amazed by the amount of riches in the Julesvale mines, and instead of giving up the Drop of Nourishment to Randall, he decides to look for obsidian himself deeper in the mines. The next foreigner who betrayed Randall was the ex-wall runner, Hamir. Hamir comes from a small settlement hidden somewhere deep in the Archive Mountains called the Crystal Oasis. Little is truly known about those who settled at the Crystal Oasis, but what is known is that the founders were exiled from the Etherean Forest when the Rockball was formed, and it's the descendants of these founders, such as Hamir, who
Oh, so
live
these
at
are
the
forest
Crystal
dwellers.
Oasis. But at some point, Hamir decided to leave the Crystal Oasis to join the Wall Runners to the north, where he found the love of his life, his partner, Madoc. Now, we don't know the full details, but when the rock wall was breached by the Black Roots, the same eldritch monster that Crag went in search of, while trying to maintain the wall from the Roots, Madoc was killed in the line of duty.
Ooh.
Hamir was devastated.
Oh,
and after his
that's
partner
bad.
passed away, he left the Wall Runners to go into exile. An extremely rare occurrence, as Wall Runners typically devoted their entire life to the wall. And after wandering in shame,
I think you're allowed to leave when your partner dies
for a
defending
new
it.
direction in life. But to his surprise, he would only be met with a grim reminder of his past. He saw the familiar face of Olympia. Olympia was the Amethyst Fist, the champion of the Crystal Oasis, and a martial arts legend. Whatever Hamir's reason was for joining the Wall Runners, Olympia only saw it as abandoning their homeland. And although she didn't know about Madoc's
Rude.
passing, she held a strong grudge against Hamir. As for why Olympia was in Julesvale, a while back, Olympia began to find disturbances in the crystals of her homeland. There were impurities in the gems from a sickness deep beneath the earth. So underground, she followed the source all the way to Julesvale, and she began conducting research to find and destroy the root of the evil.
Oh,
The
spider
encounter
crystal.
between Hamir and Olympia
Crystal
left
spider.
A lot of commotion, when suddenly it brought the attention of Randall. And while Olympia
Randall.
stormed off, Randall comforted Hamir temporarily. he offered Hamir an opportunity for a new direction in life, tasking him to find the mythical Shield of Courage, a relic deep in the caverns below. And well, Hamir decided, why not, and headed down to the mines.
Why not?
After encountering some
I love
mysterious,
that.
shadowy Badger Co lackeys, he actually managed to find the legendary relic. With the Shield of Courage, Hamir felt like his unbreakable self again. Full of confidence, he returned to the surface to speak to Randall. And to his surprise, Randall told Hamir of another relic much like the Shield of Courage, called the Breath of Life. And Randall believed that that relic could be used to resurrect his lover. However, Randall had heard that the nefarious Olympia had stolen that relic deep in the lava tubes below. And Randall tells Hamir to take out Olympia by any means necessary.
Oh.
And with some
Oh,
cloudy
no.
judgment and the Shield of Courage, Hamir actually agrees to find Olympia and confront her. Meanwhile, we have our third...
Wasn't so it sounds like these relics that these people are being sent to find are the ones that the crystal spider gave out in the beginning that got charged with elemental power. That's kind of what it sounds like. Because wasn't the Breath of Life the one that was given to Randall that keeps him immortal? Because if the Breath of Life is the one that Randall is supposed to have that keeps him immortal, why is it now down in the bottom of these caverns, and why doesn't Randall have it? And if Randall doesn't have it, how is he not dead? I know that they said they don't know the exact timeline of how many years pass in between these things, but I have to imagine Randall is like actually ancient. So how is he not dead? That's wild.
quote-unquote thief that betrayed Randall, being Artemis. Artemis is a Fire Mora captain, a squadron of elite soldiers who work directly under Prince Zetterburn on the field of battle. And after the Rite of Fire was mysteriously stolen and Prince Zetterburn was sent to retrieve it, the new Emperor Loxodon sent out Artemis to find and retrieve a new powerful relic to legitimize his right to the throne. On her mission, she headed to Julesvale, which had a reputation for powerful relics.
He still has it?
And it was here
So it's
that
not
she
actually
encountered
down there?
Randall. And when she explained her goals
He'd be
to the old
lying?
man, he told her of the legendary Ember of Destruction. It was a relic hidden in the dangerous lava tubes below the Julesvale mines. Artemis was up for the challenge and headed out for the relic. And much like the other thieves, after a quick encounter with the villainous Badger Co., she found the legendary relic. She could feel the power of it immediately, and knew it would do quite well for her mission, even wondering if she could use it herself to take the throne. And in order to test its full potential and perhaps feed her own ambitions, she headed to the Oasis in the mines to test the limits of her relic. And back in the present, Randall explained his side of the story in a maybe less truthful version. So Fleet agreed to go back into the mines, find the thieves, and steal back the relics for Randall.
Is Randall
Meanwhile,
uncool?
Hamir finds Olympia
They've all been
injured
tricked?
in the
Is
lava
Randall a bad guy?
and seeing her defenseless, has a change of mind about hurting Olympia. Instead, Hamir helps up Olympia, and it's explained that she of course doesn't have the Breath of Life, but rather Randall made that up so Hamir would take out Olympia before she found anything incriminating about Randall, as she's been very suspicious about his activity and the source of the darkness. When suddenly, Fleet appears on the scene, battles Hamir
Come on,
really
girl.
quickly, doesn't really win, but does steal the Shield of Courage right from Hamir's grasp. And for the sake of not making this video too repetitive, pretty much the same exact thing happens to both Artemis and Slade. They
Right.
also encounter Olympia while she's doing research in the mines.
It feels like I thought this was a game where you played as Fleet. It almost seems like you play as all of these other characters with Fleet stopping you. Like, does it like all circle back? Because it sounded like you played as Fleet in the beginning and then this stuff happens and you play as these other characters. Like, is this like actually only the first third of the game and then there's more where you're playing as the actual main character? Because it feels weird that you're fighting against the character that feels like the main character.
And just like Hamir, Fleet came out of nowhere and stole the relics. Also, Olympia and Slade found out that Amathor is actually real and alive, which is pretty cool. Anyways, Fleet is successful
Crystal
in bringing
Spider.
back the 3 relics to Randall, who then tells Fleet of an ancient ritual he wants to perform in the catacombs below Julesvale. Although it's extremely suspicious, she agrees to help protect him on the way to the altar, as there's tons of monsters in the crypt. Eventually, the pair reach the ritual
You play as her
site,
later,
with a
okay.
large sealed door. Now,
I'm guessing
Fleet
you're playing
is
as her
very
now,
concerned
and
about this so-called
that makes
ritual,
sense.
As it's a very suspicious setting, and of course, Randall reveals the truth, transforming into his true form, the Necromancer. Randall and his fellow champions had sealed the darkness of the abyss below Julesvale thousands of years ago. And thanks to the Breath of Life, Randall had endured the years and seen the peace
Right.
they fought for break down due to the greed of the people. In order to make lasting peace in Ether, Randall plans to reopen the seal using the 4 shards, and harnessing the power of the darkness, he alone can make the perfect world lacking greed. Fleet realized...
So everyone came together to fight the darkness, and then they all broke apart and started fighting each other. And so now he's like, ooh, well, now we need the darkness to bring us all together again. Except instead of uniting the world to fight the darkness, he wants to be the darkness, and then he will just unite the world himself. Is that what we're getting at here? Because number one, that's dumb. Number two, I want Necromancer Randall as a character in Rivals 2. Okay, continue.
That this guy is absolutely nuts and runs back to the surface before being taken out. However, Randall's plan is in full swing. All of those who were hoarding Obsidian have gone under dark transformations and are now under the influence of the darkness.
Okay, so the Obsidian is Dark Lore.
Overran with
I was right.
Obsidian-possessed soldiers of the Necromancer. So those who weren't under control ran to seek shelter in the mines below. And it's here that the four protagonists meet up again at the refugee camp. And despite Fleet making a complete mess of everything, after she explained her side of the story, they agreed to work together to stop Randall. And after her extensive research, Olympia explains that the reason the darkness has been seeping out, and this emergence of this new ore, Obsidian, is because each of the champions held on to the power of the shards. Their greed led to their downfall, and if each shard had been left in the seal, then the abyss could have never leaked out, and they would have been locked in there for eternity. And while Olympia protects the civilians in the mines, the four protagonists head back to face Randall and put a stop to the scheme once and for all.
Yeah, she did.
However, when they
She messed up
arrive,
big time.
They find that Randall has yet to open the abyss. He can't bring himself to part ways with the Breath of Life, the source behind his very existence.
Yeah, if he gives it up,
When suddenly,
he might die.
the shadows from beyond the door grasp the Breath of Life from Randall's hands
Oh.
and burst open the doors.
Oh, that's what that was.
And the abyss formed into a monster known as Avarum, the Sin of Greed.
Oh.
It's revealed that Randall's plans were actually the plans of the darkness beyond the seal, as they had slowly corrupted his mind over the years. Avarum explains
That guy
the
also looks
abyss
awesome.
are the rightful inhabitants of Ether, and have been plotting their escape for thousands of years. He mentions another abyss monster, Envis, from the Godai Delta, which
Envis.
brings up another theory/speculation part about the source of the abyss. There's heavy implication that Avarum is the abyss representation of the Sin of Greed, and Envis,
Right.
the culprit behind the events of Rivals 1, who takes the form of other people, was the embodiment
Oh,
of
Envy. Okay.
This of course implies that there are
Huh.
7 abyss monsters that represent the 7 deadly sins of the world, each of which are sealed
Interesting.
away underneath
Okay.
the earth in different parts of Ether. And Avarum is finally free, and it's surprised to see that the new champions fight alone.
So then there's probably also one in the Boreal Valley fighting the panda. Polar bear. Jesus.
Fought back against Avarum, and one of the coolest final boss fights ever. I mean, I absolutely love the song. It's so good. Anyways, the heroes are actually able to fend off Avarum, as he had wasted too much of his essence making Obsidian for Randall's plot, and wasn't at his full power. And quickly, before he recovered, the 4 heroes grabbed the shards and sealed away Avarum once again. And this time, they agreed they had to leave the power of the shards behind despite their temptation, and headed back to the surface to celebrate. And with the abyss sealed back again, the Obsidian lost its power and Julesvale went back to normal. And the 4 heroes all split up on their own journeys. Now for the post-credit scenes. Artemis returns to the Fire Capital to give a report about the encounter with Avarum. But Emperor Loxodon informed Artemis of a new, more pressing mission. Prince Zetterburn had turned traitorous and fled to the Godai Delta. He tasked Artemis to take out and execute his treasonous life. And despite
Ooh.
being doubtful of Loxodon's claims, she heads out to the Godai Delta. As for Slade, he begins sailing towards Merchant Port, and realizes that Orkin had been hoarding Obsidian not because he wanted it, but to protect the people of Merchant Port from the Abyss's influence. And on his journey to Merchant Port, he begins
Oh,
to smell
interesting.
smoke in the distance, implying that he's arriving to Merchant Port right after Zetterburn had burned it down.
Oh.
Amir and Olympia
Oh,
mend
no.
their burnt bridges, and agree to work together in their hunt towards the other wellsprings of darkness across Ether. They know Avarum's only the first of many, so they head towards the center of Ether to find and help Crag, who they believe is also on the same mission. And
Fish Dog is a
lastly,
prick. I don't care
Fleet
what
and
he was
Iola
doing.
agree to keep working as partners to try and stop Badger Co's evil plans. And Fleet mentions that after she stops Badger Co, she plans to find more rivals to fight. Basically, meaning she's in Rivals.
She
6.
said the thing.
Also, Eliana appears in the background. No dialogue or really any importance, but a cool cameo. And that is pretty much the story mode for Dungeons of Ether. I think it's a really good story mode, has a lot of foreshadowing and world building, and sets up future Ether Studio titles.
Okay.
But anyways, there is
Okay.
only a little bit
That
of
seems
lore
neat.
left. This will be the final chapter, but I'm going to be breaking down the Tales of Ether comic, which follows one of my favorite characters, Clarin, the Flame Salvation.
The Flame's Salvation. So she's a fire character, but she's also from the future.
first off, I highly recommend that if you are interested in Ether lore, to purchase the comics yourself, read through them, and support Ether Studios. So hopefully they can make more stuff like this in the future. Because this will be mostly a story or plot summary, and skip some of these smaller character development stuff. Anyways, Tales of Ether, Future Imperfect takes place at some point in the dystopian future version of Ether, where the champions of Ether never escape the abyss below. In this timeline, Emperor Luxon takes control of the Firelands and expands his empire across Ether, destroying the Air Armada and all that threatened his reign. And in fact, using advanced technologies, he managed to create a robotic body to extend his mortal life.
How does
the
this
title
happen?
of the Eternal Emperor. However, because Loxodon lost the Rite of Fire years ago, the people of the Fireland's connection to the flame had slowly disappeared, and even Loxodon can only simulate firepower through technology such as plasma weapons. Despite their elemental connection.
Okay, I really appreciate that they kept that through line though, since Zetterburn essentially dies underground, the fire is gone, and so Loxodon loses his fire. I appreciate that. Oh, and that explains why Clarin can be a fire character but doesn't actually have an element. Because Clarin, I never really we talked about this a little bit when I was streaming last time. We were talking about their elements. We talked about Clarin being like electric type because she does stuns with her swords. Now it makes a lot more sense. She is a fire type. She just doesn't have fire anymore because the flame went out. So, she's using technology because that's what you got to do at that point. That's interesting. Okay, I like this.
Loxodon expanded the Flame Imperium across Ether, and thousands were displaced from their homes and forced into refugee camps and reservations on the outskirts of the Empire. And specifically, our story follows one such reservation and one child named Clarin. Clarin and her mother Clarissa are descendants of Clayan, the former leader of the Smoke Clan, and also Clover, the exiled prince and rightful heir to the throne. And perhaps because of
so those two did a little.
She had been blessed by the divine and was born with the power to still have a connection to the flame. However, to not arouse suspicion, she was forced to hide her powers in the camp.
Oh, well, you know what? I guess never mind. Ignore everything I said. Apparently she does specifically have fire.
For living conditions, they had to lay low. One night, Clarin would get a vision of her ancestors, Forsburn and Clayan, speaking to her. She receives a cryptic message from the two, telling her to find her mask. She awakes in the middle of the night and looks to find her mother, who's panicked outside of the tent, when suddenly explosives go off around them. Although Clarin, her father Doran, and her two siblings Issa and Ren all managed to survive the destruction, sadly, Clarissa was crushed by the rubble and didn't make it out alive. No one
Gotta have
knew
that tragic
the
backstory.
explosion at the Ashenville reservation, but some heard rumors of regular purges occurring in other reservations, all orchestrated by Loxodon to keep the population in check. Devastated and full of hatred, Clarin decided to make it her life goal to rise the ranks of the Flame Imperium and kill Loxodon herself. And years later, after Clarin grew up, she decided to apply to the Flame Imperium military. At the nearby recruitment center, she met up with three other skilled applicants.
Gotta beat it from the inside.
Royce and Burnett. In order to join the military, the four of them had to pass this sort of My Hero Academia type challenge. So the four of them worked together to beat this obstacle course and impress the administrators, landing them all positions on the same ranger unit together. So for a few years they worked together as a ranger unit, conducting missions across Ether in the name of the Flame Imperium, such as a raid on the Water Trade Company. And it was clear that the four of them were an incredible team and had many successful missions, even garnering the attention of the Fire Capital Royal Guards, who were possibly looking for new recruits. And although Clarin wanted to join the Royal Guards to get closer to and eventually kill Loxodon, it would mean abandoning her squad mates. After agreeing to say no to any offers with her team, that night she would get another vision from Clayan, who is worried that Clarin is straying from her path to kill Loxodon. She warns Clarin to not get too attached to her new life as a soldier, and if needed, she must sacrifice her new life for the greater good.
These dreams feel a little ominous.
A new mission to apprehend a high-priority target, a terrorist known as Malo. Malo was notorious for attacking and blowing up remote Imperial outposts and causing chaos with his large arsenal of explosives, even being known to attack reservations. Like
Malo, the explosive character.
They located Malo in the Western Wastelands, in the wreckage of an old Air Armada airship, and suspecting an ambush, Malo set off a flashbang and proceeded to unleash a chaotic frenzy of explosives. Chaos ensued, and Malo actually was destroying them pretty hard, 1 versus 4, until suddenly, Clarin decides to use a little bit of her fire to light one of the explosives still in Malo's hand. Malo then proceeds to get jumped by the other squad members who didn't even realize what Clarin had done.
Hell yeah.
While Malo is blown away to have witnessed somebody who still has the connection to the flame. Clarin attempts to interrogate Malo, wanting to know if he was the one responsible for his mother's death. However, Malo is still in shock and passes out, giving no closure to Clarin's grief or anger. and more determined than ever to get revenge on Loxodon, she decides to take the opportunity to accept a Royal Guard's offer to become a Royal Guard herself, despite her promise to her squad mates.
Damn.
Sometime later, the day of the Royal Guard ceremony had come, where she would be given her plasma saber in front of Emperor Loxodon, and she planned to use that.
Oh, so this is like a
opportunity to
guard
hunt him down
uniform.
where he stood.
Huh.
So, in front of the large crowd of Flame Imperium citizens and the Emperor himself, she revealed her true nature, swearing to kill Loxodon here and now. Amused, Loxodon called off his security drones and decided to face her one-on-one, to set an example for all of those who defy his rule. And despite her confidence, she got absolutely destroyed. Loxodon did not hold back, and even brought up this fire axe, which looks super badass. And then eventually,
Well, if he's basically
grabbed her
immortal,
and
he's
slammed
probably
her
pretty
to the
strong.
ground, destroying her tech and leaving her completely defenseless. Despite making it her life goal to kill Loxodon, she got completely bodied in front of everyone, and was quickly captured and sentenced to be executed.
Damn.
Claren began to break down in prison, being both physically and mentally defeated, when she was approached by a mysterious figure. The cloaked individual revealed herself to be the master engineer known as Ayala. Much like Loxodon,
rabbit.
she had survived due to her mostly non-organic body that she designed for herself and Loxodon,
Huh.
as the Eternal Emperor needed eternal maintenance.
Oh,
Ayala
she
goes
made
immensely
Loxodon's
bigger
robot
to
body.
create the
Okay.
dystopian world they live in now, and sympathizes with Claren's cause. She reveals that Loxodon had her build a time machine, so they could eventually go back in time and bring the Rite of Fire back to the future, to empower the Empire once again and take control of all of Aether. Claren doesn't really believe the story of time travel really existing, but Ayala convinces her that it's possible to go back in time and take out Loxodon before he became invincible. And without any other options, she agrees to the insane plan. The two escape the prison and are chased down by Loxodon's guards. Ayala warns Claren that once she's sent into the past, she can't come back to the future. And with the guards on their tail, Claren makes the hasty decision to agree to go to the past and leave behind her friends and family. And to her shock, it was actually successful. Claren made it back to the past, and instead of foolishly deciding to face
Oh, the Super Saiyan, the ball, the travel ball. When you're playing as Claren in Rivals 2, you spawn in through this ball thing. That's cool. That's a cool detail.
Claren made it back to the past, and instead of foolishly deciding to face Loxodon one-on-one again, she makes it her goal to find and rescue the Champions of Aether. And that's basically the plot summary of Tales of Aether. It really sets up for the Rivals 2 story mode, where I'm sure Claren will eventually come in contact with the Champions of Aether and probably end up saving them from the Abyss, since obviously in their timeline, they never escape the Abyss. And that about covers it for everything we know currently in the Aether universe. We've covered all of the main games.
Okay, so now that's an interesting detail. They are phrasing this as an alternate universe where the champions all die, right? And so in this alternate universe, this is where, Loxodon becomes a robot and fire goes out and all that. But canonically, in the story of Rivals 1, it ends with they're all still trapped down there. So is it an alternate universe where they die, or is it just the regular future and they're supposed to die? And in the Rivals 2 story, Claren comes and saves them. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be an alternate future. It could just be the normal future.
Story, besides maybe Lovers of Aether, and we've pretty much covered every major character. Although, I feel like we're missing someone. Someone really important. Guajua, the biggest, baddest panda to ever be seen in Aether. I mean, it's kind of hard to say if Guajua is actually canon or not, since she's not technically part of the actual base game, but she is playable in Creatures of Aether, which is canon, although she has like no lore in it, so really, we don't really know where she's from. Now, my fan theory is that she's from the same place as this character named Minto, who apparently comes from a distant land, but yeah, we don't really know. Oh, also Palm exists in the future, and she's like a pop star in Neo Julesville. Yeah. So
Oh, in the
we have
future
officially
specifically. Okay.
completed The Rivals of Aether lore breakdown. There's a lot to unpack here, and still many unanswered questions. If you have any questions or theories, let me know in the comments below. Things you like about the story, things you don't like, that's cool too. And before I end the video, if you're interested, I linked 2 different lore-related Discords in the description below. So if you want to join in and talk about Rivals of Aether lore, then you can go, feel free to join those. Definitely not the video you guys expected from me. Regular videos.
Oh, what a combo. Jesus. Oh man, okay. Okay, that was cool. All right, so definitely some parts of the Rivals lore were like obviously a little iffy, but like I think the Dungeons lore was really cool, and I think the comic lore was really cool. It was very specifically the Rivals 1 lore that felt a little iffy, I guess. And then I guess they didn't really talk about any lore for Creatures of Aether. Maybe there's no lore in that game, or it just all kind of gets covered in other stuff. But yeah, so that's cool. Okay, so Rivals 2 story mode. Everyone's underground. Claren is going to come save them. And then two of the 7 deadly sins are dead at this point, envy and greed. And we probably have one off in the like Arctic tundra, so they're gonna have to go off and like figure that out. And then just, you know, because it's a video game, they'll probably have like 1 or 2 others, right? Just like generally speaking, I feel like it's a pretty tame estimation to make for where the Rivals 2 story goes. That fish dog video is the one you need to watch? No, absolutely not. I will not watch a fish dog video. I hate this. Oh, the 1 hour 24? Absolutely not. I hate this. I hate this character, and I don't want anything to do with him. Wait. Rivals 2 Dungeons and Tales story is written by the guy who does the Sonic stuff? What? Is written by a writer for Sonic? That's incredible. That's actually incredible. I love that. Jeez. That's actually so good to know. Oh man. All right. So I'm more hyped for this game now that I can't touch for another month, because I only do the beta once a month at the end of the month. And that's lame. So in the meantime, I want to like try and play some more Melee and you know, keep my hands in the GameCube controller platforming space. Although I can't actually do that right now. I disassembled my GameCube controller the other day to install a new cable, and then realized I don't have some of the stuff that I need to be able to do that. So now my controller's just blown up in a box over on the other side of the room. So hopefully I can get that done and play the game. Okay, maybe I'll play Rivals 1 so I can try out this Ronald McDonald character. I heard he's pretty busted. I've seen so many videos of this game, and I had no idea that it was Rivals 1, because it's always Ronald and Goku and Naruto and just like all of these other random characters. I had no idea that was Rivals 1. So, okay, maybe I'll try it out at some point. Maybe that's what I'll do next week. I don't really know what I am going to stream again after this. So maybe it'll be Rivals 1. Other than the like platform fighters, I'm trying to get into Deadlock, actually. This game right here, which is a third-person MOBA shooter. Very different from anything that we've seen today. I'm very bad at it, though, and I want to get better at it, but I'm really bad at it because MOBAs are not my thing, and I think I'm pretty okay at shooters, but MOBAs specifically are just not really my thing, so I'm really bad at like the game sense. You know, aim is one thing. I think I'm pretty decent at aim, but like I don't know what I'm doing in this game because I don't play MOBAs. So I don't know that I want to play that on stream, but maybe it's something that I'll show off at some point after I get a little bit better. So I don't know. All that to say, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. But yeah, I'm going to stream again next Saturday, probably around 6:37, same time. And we'll see what we get up to. Maybe we'll try something completely different. Who knows? But I do need to go ahead and go for tonight. 10 o'clock my time was my hard cutoff for tonight, and it's already 10:03. So I need to get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. I've had a great time here. I hope that you have too, checking out the Rivals lore and the Rivals tournament before that, and even just a little bit of Magic gameplay before that, where we managed to go completely even. We managed to break even just ever so slightly, just ever so barely. But yeah, that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. A little abrupt. Sorry about that. But like I said, I had my hard cutoff. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. Remember to stay subscribed to the channel so you don't miss a video or a short or the next stream or whatever it is. And I will catch you all later. Peace.